Welcome to episode 141 of the Dirt Life Show. We got a great show for you guys lined up tonight. Man, it's hot in Southern California, but I'll tell you what, our guest is one of my big buddies, got me into off-road racing. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Few have actually accomplished as much as him tonight. Not only has he been in the industry for a long time, he's been an industry leader. He's a multi-time off-road champion, Dakar champion, brought home a win to the United States of America. Man, that was such a cool moment. Supermoto racer back in the day. He participated in the X Games. He's a business owner. He's a family man and lover of all things Jeep. So welcome, Casey Currie.
Thank you very much.
Dude, you've done a lot in your life, man, so I can't wait to get into it tonight. But, hey, on a fun note, we got a bunch of your homies that are going to join us.
I'm a little nervous when I saw the
lineup?
sheet with, the lineup makes me nervous.
So, Oren Anderson, O-Ring, he's going to join us. He was actually, I think he's pretty much the biggest guest on the show because he was on last week, too, hanging out with Bryce.
Celebrity.
Yeah, big celebrity guy. Sean Berriman's going to join us. He rides in the passenger seat with you. And I noticed another guy that rides in the passenger seat with you, Aaron Quesada. He's going to join us, too. And then one of your longtime sponsors, KMC Wheels, Ryan Guidus, is going to join us, so that's going to be fun. All right, let's go through and we'll just get all the sponsors and stuff out of the way. I'm Georgie Hamley, your host of the Dirt Life Show. Please share the show. It helps everybody. It helps grow the industry. It helps Casey. It helps us. And it helps you guys, too, because you guys can all talk about some fun stuff that gets behind the scenes and, man, just enjoying the off-road life that we live. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff today, stuff that Casey does on a day-to-day basis, all the way down to, what he's got going on coming up in the future, and how he got me into off-road, so that'll be cool. So thank you very much to all of our sponsors, the guys over at KMC Wheels, Ryan Guidus is going to join us, Maxxis Tires, Motul, Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapyusa.com. Buy a steering rack, limit straps, all that good stuff. Bump steer delete kits. JL Audio, those guys are doing some really cool stuff with some of the UTVs. Evolution Power Sports, you can tune your car from your phone with their code shooter. Go grab an exhaust, and they're doing some cool stuff with the Phoenix Children's Hospital. I'd love to see companies in off-road give back, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
So go check out the guys at Evolution Power Sports. Follow them on social media. The guys over at Zolinger Racing Products, you can use the code TheDirtLife. Go get yourself some tie rods, radius rods, match it up to your Shock Therapy steering rack, vision canopies, and cryo heat. All right, so like I said, share the show. One of the main things that we're going to talk about tonight is family off-road racing, that kind of stuff. That stuff is really, really, really important to not only Casey, but I think to a lot of us that are just in the off-road industry, man. We love seeing our families grow, and we love hanging out with them in the dirt, don't we?
Absolutely.
When was the first time that you got to, go in the dirt? You went with your dad, or what was it?
We've been, so obviously my family grew up in the off-road industry as well, so my grandpa was a passionate off-road racer, driver, jeeper, and he got my dad and my uncles into motocross racing at a young age, and all of my uncles
so it's two wheels, huh?
Oh, yeah, two wheels. We all started on two wheels. So even my kids only ride dirt bikes. We don't do trophy carts. Really? Nothing.
It makes it way easier to watch and work on.
Well, we tried it for a little bit, but they both want to ride dirt bikes, so we're doing it. But, yeah, we all grew up two wheels, and then from there, everybody likes to go fast and have, the speed. So the adrenaline rush is where it's all about.
Yeah, totally. The dirt bikes, it seems like it's where a lot of us start, right? Since you started there, was that what you wanted to do from a young age?
No, I grew up my dad treated it a little bit differently than I guess the people that want to get gnarly. My dad's biggest thing for me was to have diversity in all, wakeboarding, surfing, snowboarding, skiing, water skiing, going out to the desert, riding motocross. We did so many different aspects, sand dunes, which it's funny because I didn't realize how much that played a factor into my career until I got to Dakar. Once we got to Dakar, I realized that my dad's training as far as us having fun as kids, doing all these different aspects of driving,
versatility. You're talking?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the ability to go out and conquer all. Dakar, you need all that. So it was fun. But yeah, the entire family is very much so into off-road racing and motocross and it all.
Dude, it's kind of cool to see that though. Like I really appreciate that. There's a lot of good that well, there's a lot of bad too. Like dirt bikes bring a lot of good, right? Because they teach you so many things, but they also teach you that you can get hurt too, right? Like that's the reason why I walk around all messed up. But the cool part about it is there's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of you got to be humble because it can put you on the ground, right? And it teaches you all of those things. And like you said, it kind of translates like I don't know, into all of the stuff that you actually learn in life. Like, we're going to talk about it a little later, but like business stuff for you, having goals, like wanting to be a champion, like you achieve on four wheels, like all of these different things that you just, like you said, you didn't really understand what you were being taught by your dad at the young age, but now you do.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, for me, the dirt bike thing, obviously, we all know that anyone can put a helmet on and go fast in a race truck and crash it and wad it up. But I think the skill set comes involved when how fast you can push it in certain situations, right? And that's where a dirt bike, right, when you can ride a supercross track or a motocross track as fast as you can without crashing, right? Because there's that fine line of, and you know, there are guys that can go super fast one lap but can't hold it together for a 30-minute moto. A lot of that ability and skill set really comes into play when you start getting into short course racing where you're 20-minute sprint all out. You got to drive as fast as you can without making mistakes, but having the strategy of that quick pass, quick aggression, like learning how to get a spiked heart rate, and then you got, you know.
Actually, that brings up a really good point too, is because like when you were racing short course, now you know like the whole setup thing, right? Because in motocross, a lot of times you can just dart to the inside in one corner, but in short course racing, you got to set it up 3 or 4 corners in advance, right? Like so, there's a lot of stuff that translates that you really kind of just learn, and it becomes second nature, right?
Yeah, the ability to, you know, the ability to basically. Well, first set up just any race car in general, right? Anyone can get in and drive, but to be able to tune and have the geometry work how you want it to work and the suspension work how you want it to work, there's a lot of stuff that goes into all the, you know, fine-tuning of shocks and spring rates and, you know, how the car feels in the corners and the steering. And I feel that between motocross and then getting into short course, we learned a lot about that. And, you know, we built our own short course trucks, so we got thrown in deep with learning setup and learning how to build race cars.
I remember that back in the day because I remember, well, 2 things. We'll talk about like what it does first. The dirt bike stuff that you're talking about, it gives you that seat of your pants feel, right?
Yep.
Like so you know what you're doing with or what you're feeling with your feet, with your hands on the steering wheel, and with your butt. Like there's so many connections that you have to a vehicle that a lot of people might not get unless they had the dirt bike experience.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that, you know, learning how to set up a vehicle long term to have a successful career over a long period of time is being able to fine tune a car and make it work how you want it to work. And just like you said, like to feel it in your feet and to feel it under your butt and how it feels in you know, in your hands. You know, I think a lot of that came from motocross.
Did it come like, did you know that was like the feeling? Did you know that you were doing a good job when you first got in your first 4-wheel car?
No, I still don't even know if I do a good job. It's just, I just have my way that I want things set up, right? So I have a very unique setup that I like. I like the way cars feel. You know, I have a certain way I like everything to feel, from tire pressure to tires to, you know, shock setup to.
Well, give us a little bit of an example on why you do that. I'm going to show some of the people some of the stuff that you guys, your guy Kyle Chandler, he actually sent us some pretty awesome pictures of you back in the day. So like riding a little street bike around.
Yeah, we had a we had literally a small racetrack in our front yard. So my dad obviously super into racing. We literally had a circle track in our front yard.
Yeah, so here's a good picture.
Gotta have the 3-wheeler, 185. Oh yeah, dude, at the river.
That was the one where the suspension was all in the tires. Yeah. The tire pressure was the suspension, right? Yeah. And then what was that? You guys?
That's a 1920 Packard. So my grandpa built that race car from the ground up. Basically found a car in a field and rebuilt it to race it across country.
That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, and this looks like maybe the first time you got in a 4-wheel car?
The old school players right there.
That thing's pretty sweet, man. But you were super young in some of these pictures. I don't know where this picture is
from. So we did a Rod Hall driving school. We were 15 years old, and Rod Hall allowed us to come out and.
You got to take a Humvee, huh?
Yeah, that's where they do their driving schools. So like we went when we were young, we did like the go-kart schools, we did sprint car schools. We've done all the driving schools and techniques just to go out there and have the experience on how to drive.
It's pretty cool that you got to
PW
experience, like, a lot of us, you know, like, we all consider you, especially myself, I idolize you and want to be more like you when it comes to being a professional racer and all of these things, right? You and I are friends, but that's a true statement, right? And a lot of people that look at you and fans and things like that. But the cool part about it is we do all have a connection with you. You started from very humble beginnings.
Oh yeah, no. We grew up, man. Like just like everyone else, totally normal. My dad worked a lot, so like it's funny the picture that you're looking at with the off-road car, like it's in my grandpa's driveway. So my dad had I had an idea on the first car, pre-runner, and dude, my dad would go work. You know, he was working a lot at Currie Enterprises, so my grandpa and I would cut the car further apart than we were supposed to. But
oh, really?
Grandpa would hook it up, so then my dad had to come in and do more work to, you know, dial us in. But I mean, we rode dirt bikes a lot. So
it looks like you did, and being from Southern California, it used to be a little easier to ride dirt bikes out here.
I think that's Nuevo right there, Lake Elsinore.
Was it?
Yeah, it's yeah, I think it was Lake Elsinore.
When was the last time you saw some of these pictures?
A long time ago.
Dude, this looks like it might have been in the woods or something, Mammoth. I don't know.
No, I don't even know. No, I think it's in my house, dude. We used to live
big trees like that.
Yeah, well, my backyard where the shop was that you went to like 10 years ago, back when we were kids, that was just dirt. So we used to have 2 acres. That
I remember that Anaheim Hills somewhere,
that
right?
Is literally in our backyard.
Oh, there you go, the little shifter car or something.
You really did find some photos, man.
Dude, Kyle hooked me up, dude.
I'm kidding. So
he really did a good job.
We did all the go-kart school, dude. We literally did all that stuff, man.
All right, so this one's actually pretty cool. I want to show this to everybody.
Shit,
so
man.
this is
it's my grandpa and my grandma
and
me on the lap.
Yeah, and you're like getting ready to start driving. How old were you? Do you know?
It's probably 7 or 8.
Do you know where this was at?
Let me see the photo.
Maybe
again.
Tahoe or somewhere. Like
no, I don't know. It's probably so we have a house in Mojave Valley.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Probably closer to the Laughlin area or Havasu area.
Big go-kart guy here.
Big go-kart guy. Camelot's gone now.
Oh,
it's gone.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Dude, what would it be to like rebuild one of those cars like that, man? That would be so cool.
Those are some good times.
And then, so here's a picture that I think everybody can get along with. It's just being a little kid and being out in the dirt, right? Like, so
Glamis right there.
We talk about this all the time on the show. Is like all of us grow up with the same kind of thing I'm just talking about right now. Kind of all the same way, right? Like, I know that for me, every single time I go back to the dunes. In fact, I want to go for Halloween this year because I just got a Pro R like yours behind us. But every time I step foot in the sand or every time I pull into Glamis, I always think of like when I was like 10 or 8 years old. You know what I mean? Like, and then now you have children.
Yep.
So you're teaching them the same kind of stuff?
Yep. So yeah, they're both my boys ride dirt bikes. We're trying to do obviously being a professional race car driver, I'm very blessed to go and do a lot of cool things with a lot of fun people. But we're trying to go down and we're playing baseball. I got one son playing baseball, another one playing football, and trying to go and do all the sports and trying to be totally normal during the week as far as, our lifestyle can get carried away quickly with all the travel and everything I have going on. But
what do the kids think? Do they like those things more than what Dad does, or do they like what Dad does more?
No, they would. My oldest would race anything he could right now today, like 7 days a week. My kids, both of them love it, but my oldest one has talent for sure.
Oh, nice.
We're holding him back right now because Dad's still got a racing career. So we do ride. I have a full-blown motocross track in my house.
Oh, cool.
So I built a full track. Brian Deegan's nephew actually built it for us.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, dude.
Sonny?
Sonny.
Yeah.
So built us a full-blown radical track. It's all watered.
Nice.
So, yeah, we ride. We have some fun. We absolutely love it.
What kind of bikes do you guys ride with the kids, or do you ride?
He's got I don't even. Dude, I haven't ridden a dirt bike in 12 years.
Really?
Now I got a 110.
No ambition for it?
Just.
Yeah, I got some 110
I did. Like your story. A friend of mine died right in front of me. Crazy. Just one of those situations I never wanted to be a part of in my life. And from then, got married, had kids, and just kind of the fire unlit for me on the motocross thing a little bit. But my kids got 50 Supercross Mini and a 50 Supercross. So they
have they tried any of those electric bikes yet?
No, my neighbors. So, dude, this is how small the world. My neighbor's Mitch Payton.
Oh, really?
So the owner of Pro Circuit. So his boys both have the 50cc electric bikes.
Those things are so cool, dude.
Dude, but they're like 12 or 13 years old, and they rip them on my motocross track, and dude, they can hit all the jumps.
Really?
They rip. Yeah, they ride 80s at the regular track, but at the house, they shred on them.
That's hilarious. That's actually super cool, though. I always wanted to see what one of those little electric bikes would be like.
Dude, they rip.
Have you got to ride one yet, or no?
No.
Oh.
No,
we'd probably kill ourselves on it, right?
Yeah, they are fast.
Let's see here. Ty Spencer, what up? Yeah, man. Let's see here. Oh, sick around the Razor track, too?
I've actually I haven't driven the Razor on the track yet. I got it.
Is it big enough?
Yeah, it's big enough. But I got we have some other areas we ride our Razors. We got some sand. We got a pretty sick track.
Nice. So where do you guys usually go in Southern California to ride?
Like if we're gonna go out, for me, I just go to my river house. It's just easiest to go to Arizona.
Yeah, because there's no rules. It's the Wild West out there, man. I do miss Arizona. For some of that stuff. Let's see here. MFR Musico family adds awesome story, man. I can't read the whole thing because the text is kind of small, but I know that they're from Australia, and they came over here to the United States, and I was able to go bicycle riding with them in Oceanside, and Toby and Ben, his dad, we're talking about all of this stuff, and I told him, I go, don't put any of these people on like a pedestal, and I didn't mean that rude. I mean, like, all of us grew up the same way, like what we're talking about, right? Like, and he's teaching his son the same things that you're teaching your son, the same thing that your dad taught you. Like, all of us have this weird camaraderie thing. Like, everybody's the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Well, the off-road community is so different. I think that, we don't have that. I've trained with a professional trainer in motocross when I was, focused on a short course career. And, dude, the lifestyle they live is so focused around fitness and so focused around the ability on a motorcycle that, look, the sponsor's more associated with the team. And, there's a lot of pressure being applied by your team. But as far as, like, the marketability and the sponsors, that all comes through performance. Where in off-road, you got to be a regular human being, right?
Yeah.
Like, for me, my passion project is, life is an adventure, and, obviously I want to win everywhere I go, and the challenge is everything we do is to be the best everywhere we go. But obviously for me, we love driving Jeeps, and I love going exploring, and I love driving my Polaris Razors, whether we're in Mexico or in Utah or in Arizona, like, to just go out and, see how capable vehicles are and showing it and showing the experience so that everyone that doesn't get to go out and do it often, when they do it, I can hopefully show them a place that when they get their Razor, right, they can go out and drive it in the same areas.
I couldn't agree with that more. I'm actually going to go to Utah to announce a race for the Outlaw Series West this weekend, and I'm going to stay an extra day on Monday and go and ride out in like St. George. And
you'll love it.
Yeah, and a lot of it is because I've seen a lot of the promotion and things that you've done in the Jeeps or in the Razors, whatever it is. But that's one of the things that I learned a lot from you, actually. So I'll tell this story real quick. I had no idea what off-road was. I just knew dirt bikes, right? And somehow, I think you and I got hooked up through Todd over at, I think it was Next Agency, like 10 or 12 years ago.
Okay, there we go.
And it was a long time ago. Yeah. And I was working when I was building all the GoPro stuff. And then we got hooked up, and you were like, hey,
website.
Yeah, and you were like, hey, can you build a website for me? And I'm like, sure, yeah, no problem. And then I started seeing, like, you or your brother or somebody started sending me pictures to upload to the website. I'm like, what the fuck are these things? Like, these things are race trucks? And I called you, and you're like, yeah, dude, they're rad. Like, you can huck these things. And then so you invited me to a race, and I think it was at Wild Horse Pass or something in 2012 maybe.
No. You're talking like 2008.
Maybe. Okay, so it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was before my Monster deal. And the only reason I know that because it was still a manual transmission.
Yeah.
Because that was the hard part. You had to go. You drove it.
Yeah. And then so I didn't know what they were, and I was like, what the heck are these things? And then it started growing on me, and you're like, bro, you got to drive it sometime. And I was like, I don't know if I can afford it. And you're like, yeah, it's kind of expensive. But you said, come out to California. I'm going to go do some testing, and you can sit in it and drive it for 5 minutes or whatever. So you let me drive it, and I was stuffed in there. I remember it. I was kind of scared. I was like, I don't know what this thing is. It like a regular truck? Like, and you're like, no, dude, just start banging away. Just hammer it. And I drove it, and I was like, dude, this is the raddest thing on the planet. Like, what you could drive a truck like a dirt bike?
That is funny. It's funny because we were supposed to go to Glen Helen. It rained, and we ended up going to we found some like small track out in like Johnson Valley. Dude, I'm now thinking back, that is funny. That was a long time. It's actually Orrin and I, randomly.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's crazy. And then, John Huppert just chimed in and said, yeah, everybody grew up like somewhere out in the wilderness, whatever it is, snow or dirt or whatever. It's all the same concept, right, man? And you meet people down the road. Like I was able to meet Casey through a work relationship, but it ended up turning into me being introduced to off-road racing.
That's crazy.
It is. It's really crazy, right? And like for me, it was liberating because I got hurt, and then now you've shown me that there's this other form of racing that I can potentially like be a part of. And so I had no idea, but then, side by sides kind of started coming out and coming to fruition. And I was like, dude, this is sweet, man. This is such a good thing. But to get back to what I was talking about is along the way, I understood the camaraderie aspect of it, because you literally were like, I don't know, come out, dude, come on, like get into it. Like this is something that you're going to enjoy. And you really showed and paved the way for a guy that was just a dirt bike guy.
Yeah, that's cool. Actually, you're right, dude. I remember that. And I remember going out to the desert and ripping around.
Yeah, I still have a picture somewhere, but it was pretty cool. And then, like as far as like cost of racing goes, that kind of set in. But side-by-sides have opened the door for a lot of people to start getting into it now.
Oh, side-by-sides has changed. I mean, everything in racing, if it's crazy, because if the UTV market is where, if it was as big now as was when we first got started, the opportunity for success and just for the ability to learn how to drive, the speed that the new, especially the new Pro Rs, the speeds that they have are absolutely insane.
Dude, they really are, but they're rad, right? Like it's cool to see because now and we talk about this all the time on the show, but I think it's really relevant, is the entry point into it. Like we just talked a little bit before the show, this Polaris Pro R that's sitting behind us here. You just raced it at the Nora, I think you said? And the Nora is how many miles?
About 1,000 or 1,100, I think.
Yeah, so it's a long race, right? It's like a stage though. You get to work on the car if you need to. But I thought this was a brand new car, and you just raced this 1,000 miles.
Literally, same tires, no flats, same tires, same wheels.
It's stock.
Stock. I did. It doesn't even have a cage on it.
That's what I mean.
I did seat belts, so it's got.
And you got some mirrors and stuff, and you got a pumper.
Actually, they're all from Polaris.
Yeah.
So it's all accessories.
Yes. So let's just say you spent $1,000. You got a good sponsor for wheels and tires that gave you the wheel. But let's just say you spent $1,000 on accessories, and you went and raced it.
Yeah.
Like that entry point is insanely cool.
And not only that, though, we were running top 10 overall. So like at the Nora, we were literally in the top 10 overall. So every morning we were starting with the trophy trucks and Class 1 cars.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? We got a social media question from Cali Boy AZ Tech. The Pro R just got it just popped up on Instagram today. It's kind of stupid, honestly, but you don't have to wear a helmet in the dunes.
I saw that. I just read that.
Yeah, and I don't know. In my eyes, man, the internet. In my eyes, people should just wear helmets no matter what car they're in.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The speeds that they're going are dangerous.
Yeah, and in any car, right? Like in a Jeep.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like you should always be able to be safe and protect, especially your family. If you don't want to wear a helmet, that's on you, bro. But we always suggest that you guys do that. So we're gonna move on from that question. But thanks, Cali Boy AZ Tech, for talking to us about that. So getting back to what I was talking about, the off-road stuff, like. I really appreciate you for being so open and allowing me the opportunity to see this world of racing that I love so much, right? And you didn't have to do that. Like, that was cool that you did that at the time. And it really opened my eyes up to seeing all of this rad stuff. And it just goes back to show that the camaraderie portion is the base that all of us love so much, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably what mostly drives you, and tell me if I'm wrong here, because you like doing events, you like going jeeping with all your friends, all your partners, all of these things. You schedule events that are aside from the work that you do, aside from your racing, and I feel like that's the baseline of it all.
Yeah, I think there's, like for me, it's just meeting people. That was something my grandpa's always into, like just going out and having fun and getting the opportunity to meet new people, because you never know where an opportunity lies. There's so many people that have, their own lives that all of a sudden you start connecting dots, and here they are buying a brand new Polaris just because they went out with us one time. We've actually gone out to the desert and taken some people from Monster Energy for an event, and literally ended up having them buy Jeeps on their way home. So
really,
yeah, we had some guys from New York that had never literally never experienced any of it. And from there, they they bought Jeeps, and it's cool. So now we're actually seeing more and more people come and be a part of the family. So especially when it comes to people within other brands, the troublemaker himself.
Yeah. All right. What's up, Oren Anderson? How are you?
Oh, it's good to see you guys again. Casey, looks good. It's missing a boat.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, man. Hey, I was telling Casey earlier, you're pretty much like the co-host of the Dirt Life show now because you're on all the time.
Thank you. It's nice to do it nice here.
Yeah, totally. Our internet's been a little bit slow tonight, so if you can't hear us, give us a little bit of just deal with it for a little bit. But yeah, thanks very much, man. So when was the first time you got introduced to this crazy guy over here?
We were still in high school.
Uh-oh.
So
Oh, it's been a while.
I met him from a mutual friend and we were buddies for a long. I remember like early times hanging out with family river house, some trouble out there, but it wasn't for what 5. It was more than that, 6 years before we started working together.
Yeah, it was wild because you did Riviera and Herbst first. So it was, I think it was we were definitely in our 20s. We were grown-ups by then.
Yeah, we're all old men now,
Yeah.
right? But like, it's funny to see that though, because like you guys are basically talking about the exact same stuff we opened the show with, right? Like, just being friends.
Yeah, he grew up in San Clemente, which obviously is like
Big bougie Gucci guy over here.
But he worked at a local off-road shop with Jeff Lewis, who's like gnarly in the industry back in the McPherson day. And but with that, like the opportunities came where literally a mutual friend we had he was getting work done at a shop that Oren was working on with Lewis, and we ended up hitting it off, and from there partying, being young kids, and going to the river and having fun, like you said. But it wasn't from there, dude. He was the super. It's funny because now looking at it, obviously he rides with Bryce and has a killer time, and we worked together for like over 10 years and had a blast together. And then, but with that, back in the day, we were all young kids, and he was working for the Herbst and with Riviera.
The big dogs.
Oh, dude, back then it was like the black shirt guys and the red shirt guys, and like, dude, we all idolized them. And Oren was in there just telling us, we're living out of what they were getting to do in Mexico and the fun times.
What were you doing at the time? Hey, and Oren, we got somebody said bad echo. Maybe just turn your volume down a little bit on your phone. What were you doing at the time when he was starting to work on all this off-road stuff?
I was doing Jeep speed and literally racing with our buddy the Hardens. So we were, dude, not nothing like we were doing today, or just having fun in the desert with the family.
Oren, do you remember what years these were?
I mean, that was. I can still hear the. That was what 02, 03?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we don't have an echo on our side. So if you do hear the echo, you're more than welcome to jump out and jump back in. But, man, so 02 and 03, like that's a pretty, well, in my mind, since I'm so new to off-road compared to you guys, that's a pretty, like, I don't know, beginning stages of off-road? But that's beginning stages of off-road, kind of, you think? Like,
Well, it's funny because, dude, that whole, if you, like, for us, dude, that was just the days that I think the bigger teams are the bigger teams. Like, Riviera Racing back then, that was the teams we all idolized. They had a fantastic team around them, and they just had a lot of good people, and literally, dude, lifestyle. They just loved to have parties, and just they did everything that you wanted to do, right? They're racing trophy trucks, and they're jumping and sending it, and just everything about it, dude. Those guys, I mean, they still do a fantastic job. Mark Poe's still racing, Tim and Troy and Ed and all. Now their kids all racing. Like, dude, they always did it the right way.
Yeah.
Like, they had great people. Dude, they all had great people around them, right? And dude, we all had a blast.
Was that like those beginning times, Oren? Was that like, did you guys kind of have, I don't know, dreams or ambitions or goals? Like, or was it just like, dude, I'm doing cool shit. Let's keep growing.
At the time, it was definitely let's do cool shit and let's go party at the river. Fun. That was like the mentality of it. But then it was, stars kind of aligned. We needed some help, and I was things up. Riviera was moving with them to go from that and then start working together. That's when like goals. That's when I really started to see how crazy this dude is.
Yeah, it's kind of it is kind of weird, like, to think about all that stuff, man. Like, because at that point, like, now when we're sitting here talking, like, you guys are at a professional level and doing things that are at a much bigger level than that was. But like, Do you remember how you felt at that time? Because that's seriously brand newness.
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is like short course. So the reason that the whole thing started was because Core got brought back to the West Coast. So like the very first year of Core, I barely got my program running, and then the second year is when literally.
Was that like Esslinger Pro Light days, kind of?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, I was actually factory Nissan for me. It
Look at this guy.
Nissan guy. But no, it literally came into an opportunity where I had some stars align where I had an opportunity to run a 2-car team. Dude, I ended up hiring a bunch of Oren's buddies, and we literally in like an off season, we ended up decking out a toter home that wasn't mine. We built a box fan. We did so much crazy shit, and it's funny looking at it now. Like we literally built this crazy team. We built a Pro Light in I think 30 days.
Really?
Oh yeah. We used I don't even know why. I look at it now, it's so dumb. But we used to pull all-nighters like it was no big deal. We were doing 4 or 5 all-nighters in a week.
Is that when you called Monster to get a sponsorship?
Right,
Keep
yeah.
all your guys awake?
No kidding. Yeah, dude, like Bean was there, Justin Smith.
Yeah.
Dude, he was gnarly back. I mean, even back then, we were working. It was wild. We had some crazy.
You remember those days, O-Ring?
Oh yeah, I'll never insanity the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, it was insane.
Dude, it sounds like there could have been a whole bunch of good times happening, though. Is there any special moments or like any stories that you guys remember from that back then?
Well, you know a good one. We're going to talk about dirt bikes. So one time in the off season, I used to own. My parents owned 90 acres in Chino, and we had like a motocross track and all this stuff. And dude, Oren had his like all his paperwork for his insurance and all his, it was whatever. We're getting ready for the next year, so he had to fill out all his insurance paperwork and all his medical stuff for his, whatever for his job.
Yeah.
Well, he left it on the desk, so we went dirt bike riding, and he ended up snapping his tib and fib.
With the paperwork sitting there?
Never filled it out, but that was not even the worst part. Then he crashed at the bottom of a hill that the only way out was basically to ride out. So one of my cousin and his buddy took us 3 hours to tow him out by moto straps under his armpits.
Really? Do you remember that, Oren?
Yeah, the only option was like helicopter ride or my friends drag me up a hill for 6 hours. So
dude, that's wild. How hurt were you?
Oof.
Like, were you smoked?
I mean, I got a rod from my knee to my ankle also. The outcome of that one. But luckily, I did not have any health insurance, so it just wasted any income or money I saved.
All right, pro tip to all the people that are listening or watching, please have health insurance before you go moto. Dude.
We used to ride, well, it's funny because we rode a lot, dude. We used to ride, like, we'd work a lot. We put in some serious hours, but, like, his friend and my friend, Larry Rossler, with Cowie, he was able to get dirt bikes, and then I was riding for Cowie at the time. So, dude, we used to ride dirt bikes all the time. So that was our side hobby, was going out and trying to, we were racing all the, what were those desert races called?
Yeah, like all the hair scrambles and stuff.
Yeah.
District 37.
So you guys were pretty serious about it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
How competitive were you guys? 'Cause I'm just like, when you guys talk about this stuff, I'm just seeing me and my friends going like riding in the hills and wanting to just send bigger than the other guy or just get like battle like on a practice track and just like, I don't know.
He fully chewed me out one time because I passed him. He was
pissed. Really?
Then he ran into me because I was stopped to help some dude on the ground. He's like pissed off at me for stopping. I'm sitting there going like, dude, there's a dude crash, and now he's mad because dude, this, very competitive, man. All you want to do is win.
That's hilarious. Oren, is that true?
When the company you work for is 2 people and your boss is the same age and wants to do all the same stuff, it is crazy competitive. It turns into
dude, that's wild, man. It's cool to hear though, because it's literally exactly what we were talking about, that whole camaraderie thing. Like everybody is just down to have a good time.
Yeah, but I would say like that's one thing that like, as obviously Oren and I worked together for like over 10 years, so like my career changed just learning more about what I wanted to do. But Oren being along for the ride, as far as the opportunities he brought me, was one thing that now it's crazy looking at, is like, we fell in love with Jeeping together, right? We built our first Jeeps together, or I built the first Jeep, and then we ended up getting him a smoking deal from my cousin on another Jeep. Then we dialed him in with a Jeep. Actually still owns a Jeep to this day, but we literally fell in love with Jeeping and going out and like once again, exploring and going to Moab, Utah, and all these other places with my family. And, you know, for Oren, like, he definitely didn't have a family that was into jeeping. His family was into dirt bikes and going to the desert and Baja and stuff like that. So, like,
but not big four-wheel?
Not big four-wheel guys. But then for that, like, dude, the love he has for it, now he's living in Florida with an off-road Jeep shop. Like, for me, I love seeing the success that he has brought upon himself, right? Like, just like you're saying, and through all my partners, and now, like, when I say my partners, like, throughout all the years, like, dude, we met a lot of good people. We went and explored a lot. We had a lot of we still have a lot of good friends within the industry. And through those, you know, through those relationships that we've built through racing, like, you know, for one of the guys on the team to literally go out and be able to start his own shop and have the connections to be able to buy parts at a discount so that he can actually make a living, like, dude, that's what this sport's all about. Like, you know, to come out and to have success stories after racing. That's what we all want, right? Someday you got to be able to pay for this without racing involved.
Okay, so one thing that's been a big topic lately, and especially on social media, Oren, I think you can get along with this, is helping everybody else that's with you, right? Or being a positive influence on the people around you. Like what Casey just mentioned, he's proud of you. You're proud of him. Like those things that you guys built from the ground up, that's a massive undertaking, so to speak. And you guys have got to the point now where you guys have supported each other along the way. I love that.
Oh, yeah. Well, when we first started, he was literally #1 employee working out of my dad's shop, the shop you went to.
Yeah.
Literally just right behind my house, just a normal garage behind the house. And now you look at the disaster of an empire. By the way, if you notice how much stuff I have, I actually didn't realize it until he left me that he was the reason that I have so much shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
Good job, dude.
He blamed me saying, "Oh, dude, you have so much shit. And then I go to his shop in Florida. He's got the same damn thing. Jeeps, UTVs, jet skis, boats. I'm like, dude, he was the problem the whole time. He's blaming me that I got all these toys. Like, the reason I have all these toys, everybody, is because Oren got me started. Now I'm fell in love.
Is that true, Oren?
It's completely backwards. I picked up a horrible habit from him. I say yes to everything, just the way he says yes to everything.
Casey is a yes man, but that's the reason he's so successul, right? Yeah, John Huppert's actually chimed in and he said, started out of his garage with the 74 Q5 or CJ5 with a 304. That Jeep ripped.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, see, it's all those humble beginnings, man. Oren, do you remember any stories? Like, in fact, I think I probably saw Oren the day that you invited me over to the shop, and I met him maybe, yeah.
Oren, when we took him out, he drove that Pro Light, and somewhere like Johnson Valley, it rained at Glen Helen. We took the Pro Light out in the wintertime.
You had a little circle track with whoops. I think it was Johnson Valley, because it was deep in the desert.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Oren actually came with us, though.
Impromptu, you just yes manning it, making something happen. It sounds like every week that we work together is scenarios like that.
Yeah, it pretty much is, but that's the way you got to be, right? Like, just fun fact, before the show, the internet quit working. Just like when you roll up to the starting line and you got a wire that messes up on your car, right? It's the same shit, but you guys have been working together for so long, Oren, that you know all that stuff that happens.
Yeah, and that's, I consider those like the learning years, right? Like I got to work for some big, cool teams beforehand, and I was very lucky for those opportunities, but like figuring out how to like really make it happen, like Casey and I had to figure out a lot of stuff together. Like he said yes, he lined up some amazing opportunities, but it was up to, we had to figure out how to make those opportunities into like reality, and it was his drive and his being able to connect the dots and making it happen. And I was just the dumb idiot that worked however hard it took to push it forward with him. And that was really what helped shape kind of where I'm at today, for sure.
It's because you guys both work hard. You know what I mean? Like, the hard work pays off, right? But, like, when you're in a position like that, because there's a lot of youngsters that watch the show and that listen to the show, and I think that a pro tip that I'm learning here, I'm a big fan of this as well, but is even if you don't know how to do it, just work hard and figure it out.
Yeah, I think, you got to have, like, for me, it's funny because, like, what he's saying, though, is, like, dude, we went out and reached for the stars. Like, we went out and, dude, I literally, it's crazy. Like, I was very blessed to have a great family, but, like, I didn't actually have the family backing that everyone thinks I had, which you can say whatever you want. Where I was at was, dude, I had to work for it, right? And, like, for me, which that's a whole nother story. But for me, the opportunities to go out and take these opportunities, you have to have a team of people around you. It's not one person being above the other. You just have to have a team of people that understand how to get the job done. And like for me, that's like he's saying, like we went out and we reached for the stars. We literally, I mean, obviously traveled the world. We've driven short course trucks at monster jams. We've raced the Baja 1000 in wide open cars. We've raced it in all. I mean, we have done all kinds of stuff that, like you're saying, the diversification of challenging ourselves with all these opportunities only helps make it easier. So when we want to do something in the future, we know how to break and destroy everything. I have crashed and we have totaled almost everything you could say. We have blown up motors, blown up, you name it. We have definitely gone out and learned the hard way. But by doing that, I think obviously it definitely helped with the challenges we had to make it better for the future.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like when you're thrown in the fire like that, Oren, it really makes you have to think and kick ass.
Yeah, I mean, we've literally been on fire together in the middle of nowhere, Mexico.
Sleeping in the desert sucked.
What? Tell me more about this. This sounds interesting.
Casey and I were racing Kurt Leduc's trophy truck, the Baja 1000, with Kurt Leduc, and I think we had 3 chase trucks.
Yeah.
But we were 200 miles from the finish. It was coming up from San Felipe, and a high pressure line burst at like 2 a.m. The oil caught on fire on the headers, and we slid to a stop from like 85 miles an hour to 0, and had to use sand to put this trophy truck out before it burned down.
Oh my God, dude! How gnarly was it?
Oh, for that second, it was freaking scary shit because you're so far from anybody.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy, man. Those stories, like, clearly you never forget them. Like Oren just brought it up, but like when you think about the magnitude of what could have happened compared to what did happen, like you guys got out and did all the right stuff at the right time.
Well, the funny part is that my dad and my uncle were like, they were in a Jeep together, and it was like 2 a.m, freaking both tired as hell. But it was in San Felipe. It was a shitty whooped section, and my dad and my uncle were like arguing because they were smashing their heads into the Jeep roll bars, and just they went and borrowed all this equipment to be able to fix it, and like, oh dude, it was a comical scene. And Oren was sleeping on the front tire on the race course because he was so tired he didn't go to anywhere. He was literally sleeping on the front tire.
That's crazy. Do you remember that, Oren?
Yeah. I didn't try to sleep on the tire. I just passed out.
Dude, that's wild, man. We're gonna talk with Sean Berriman in just a sec here. Oren, you got any funny stories that you've dealt with Casey over the years?
Oh man, I got a lot, but he said let's keep it racing, and he didn't really want to go into too much.
I had to pre-warn all these guys.
I was thinking that they were gonna really toss you under.
That's why I'm glad there's not 4 or 5 of them together, because they'd all.
Oh, we could do it.
Ganging up us.
That is cool though, man. I'm sure you guys have way more racing stories, but we got to get everybody on. We're about 15 minutes late, so I appreciate you staying up late with us, dude. It's awesome to see you as always.
And everybody, just so you know, Track Control Offroad, if you ever have any questions for him, he always is willing to answer. If you write him a message on Instagram, he won't answer your phone call unless he feels like answering the phone call. That's just how Oren rolls.
Oh, okay.
But he'll always answer a question. You want to know about co-driving or working on Jeeps or UTVs, he's a great guy for that.
I feel like you might be serious. You're half serious and you're half joking.
That's what everyone needs to know.
Hey, but Track and Trail has been doing some pretty cool stuff. Actually, before you take off, Oren, what have you been working on lately?
Well, a deal that kind of lined up through Casey is now we're working on axle housings with Currie to do cool stuff for like 6x6 trucks and a lot of unique custom Wazoo stuff on the axle side.
Oh,
with
really?
Casey on the East.
Dude, that sounds pretty rad. Are you allowed to talk about any of it right now? Or are you going to wait and
he's a guy. So those Jeeps with six, six tires and 6 wheels?
Yeah.
That's his company now.
Really?
So we're providing the axle.
Yeah.
Dude, that's badass, man.
So he's got the pass-through axle. So now it's not the rear axle is not just floating there. It's actually a 6-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's a drive axle. Dude, that's great. Do you have any pictures on your social media that we can check out?
Not
Differential
many.
Engineering.
We're just getting the ball rolling. Differential Engineering is the name of the company. We do have an Instagram up. We're getting that rolling, but like any, these are crazy times to start stuff up with supply chain and how busy everyone is, but we're working
It's
on it.
pretty
We'll
wild, but that's super cool. Thanks for telling us, man. I appreciate it.
Thank
Well,
you.
one of these days,
Pretty
how about we
excited
just
about
when you guys get it rolling, we'll talk about it a little bit on the show.
We'll go to Florida, go fishing.
Dude, that's where it's at, right?
That's where I'm at.
All right, Oren. Well, hey, I really
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna
Please tell the wife we said hello, and we'll see you at the races, bud.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
We'll see you later. Man, it's so cool. It's like, just to me, like, I don't know how it feels for you, but it's so cool for me to hear you guys talk about those stories because I've spent a lot of time in the desert too. But it's neat because I don't know, it makes me see the smile on your face after you hear all that stuff, right?
Oh yeah, it's good times for sure.
That's probably not the only what did he do mostly with you? Was he helping you in the racing seat or in driving and co-driving stuff, or was he
So
just?
he always rode with me, and then but obviously I wasn't even racing short course, or I was only racing short course when he was a part of the program. That was what.
Right, I remember that.
He helped. He basically ran the team for me. So I just came up with the crazy ideas, and he would literally be the one that helped orchestrate the circus to get it there.
And he's the executioner.
Yeah, we made some shit happen over the years.
Dude, that's pretty cool though, man. And it's good to have like when you know that your support mechanism is going to back you up. Like he's been such an integral part of so many people's racing programs, right? Sean Berriman, we got dude, you have so many people that are good dudes. Sean Berriman, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Dude, just living the dream over here in Southern California. It was really cool of Casey to let us come hang out at the shop, man. We got to see a bunch of cool stuff. You might have even ridden in some of these cars behind us, maybe, huh?
Oh, yeah. Started spending quite a bit of time with Casey in those side-by-sides lately the past few years.
So Sean has been a part of different racing programs, right? But he helps your racing program. But currently he has a Monster Energy hat on. Was that something that you helped him with?
Oh, so he is my Sean's basically for me he is my right hand man for all Dakar, everything to do with rally and Dakar. So Monster Energy stepped up to help make sure that I have Sean in the right seat. So a lot of traveling around the world. Having different teams and different organizations, like I gotta have rally is very complicated when there's a lot of rules, regulations, a lot of things going on.
Logistically.
Well, you just want to have somebody that by your side. Like I'm a loose cannon. Obviously, I gotta be calm down sometimes. So Sean does a great job with he has a massive Dakar experience. That's how we actually met. Like he works for the Menzies full time.
Yeah.
And but he also has a passion for rallies. So like I met him. The year before we won, I was in Dakar, totally miserable. Actually, we saw it. We were literally like day 2 of the rally. I was ready to yank my co-driver out of the car, and we went to the team manager to try to put Sean in. But Sean was already a co-driver for one of those big trash trucks.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's got gnarly experience in those. Gnarly.
Dude, I want to have a show with just Sean talking about the big trucks, period.
100%. He's your guy.
Dude, well, yeah, so this is, again, it's along the same lines of what I was talking about. You just start going through in the camaraderie and you meet people and, like, it just happens, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Do you remember meeting Casey, Sean?
I met Casey, obviously working through Bryce and stuff, going to all the short course races. And so that's kind of where I first met him. But then when I actually started getting to know him was, that Dakar, what was it,
2019.
Is that your first year that you went to Dakar then?
Yeah, it was.
That must have been a pretty big undertaking.
Oh, we lose him?
I don't know if it's us or if it's the internet for us or the internet for him. But if we lose him, he'll come back, or we can invite him back again. But so 2019, dude, I feel like that was just.
Yeah. So my first year was 2019. So I actually had a 5-year plan.
Okay.
So, but first year was totally freaking miserable. I was miserable from day one.
Was it miserable because you didn't understand the undertaking?
No,
or was
it's just like, well, I knew the undertaking. But like, I literally had a co-driver can make or break. Like the co-driver in rally is so important that
even more important than desert.
Oh, 100. I mean, you could drive 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction all day long, and no one's ever going to tell you to stop. Right? So the numbers that he puts in his head and all the, the latitude, longitude, the cap headings, all the, the distances and stuff. There's so many numbers going on that, like,
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like on desert, you could go, you might be off a little bit as far as cautions where your braking points, but like.
But you also have a GPS file.
You're on the course. There'd be times, and there's the day that the year he didn't ride with me, I drove like 25 miles the wrong direction in the sand dunes.
That's wild.
So it's like 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes back. Like, you can't just make up an hour and a half.
Yeah, that blows your whole race.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. And do you remember when you met him, Sean? When you met Casey?
Yeah, like I said, it was in short course when I was with Bryce and everything. I kind of just met him because Casey was racing a pro light at the time as well. So kind of just in the pits, just talking here and there. And then once I found out that he was getting into rally and Dakar and all that stuff, we kind of started talking more. And then that year in 2019, when he raced his first Dakar, and I was in the T4 truck on the team with South Racing, that's where I kind of met him a lot more. And from there, we kind of just built a friendship, and it's been like that, past couple of years now. So
did you know a lot about the navigation portion of it at the time that you met Casey?
Yeah, because so I started doing rally stuff. I'm from South Africa originally. So in 2011, I actually went back to South Africa for 3 years and worked on the Ford factory team building rally cars for the Dakar and stuff, and just learned kind of just trying it and just being around it and all that stuff. I didn't do a whole lot of navigating, but just being involved with it, and always you just pick up on how things are run and all that stuff. So when I came back to the States, back to Vegas, I still was still going on all the Dakars and stuff. And then I've done 6 Dakars now, and 4 or 5 of them in a T4 truck. So I've done quite a few in those big trash trucks. So
dude, it's wild, and
just sitting there, you learn everything.
Yeah, that's so wild, and the opportunity that you're helping Casey with that. I mean, you got to feel pretty lucky to have a person like that too.
100%, dude. I'm telling you,
that's badass.
Yeah, because so the crazy thing is the truck that he was driving was for my team. So he was actually our support truck. So like, even for that coincidence that all the teams in the car, and literally a guy that's living in Las Vegas working for Menzies, that like, so already having the relationship, and then to go there, and now like I think we flew on the same flight the first year over there. And
didn't even know?
No, we were talking at the time, but like, at the time I was so fresh, and like, dude, it's so gnarly how big Dakar is. But like, just having him to just hang out with and just kind of get the vibe, and him explaining, he knew more of the team than I did. I was very, like, Green Island knew, my engineers and my mechanics and stuff. So Sean knew more of the whole team. So, dude, we were literally just hanging out the whole time.
I feel like that's like literally like a match made in heaven. Like that's badass.
It worked out good. It worked out real good. And he's got like the calmness all the time where I mean, we got some crazy stories during we got some crazy stories, but like very very calm and cool when shit was hitting the fan in my head.
Really? Do you guys have some cool racing stories, Sean?
Yeah, where do you begin? I mean, when you spend, especially Dakar, one Dakar alone can tell 1,000 stories after 12 or 13 days sitting in a car for hours and then with somebody. It's
dude, how much seat time do you guys? All kinds of stuff. How much seat time do you guys think that you spent together in one Dakar? Like,
well, you gotta remember, no one tells you that the liaisons, when you're waking up at 5 in the morning and driving until 10 a.m.
Yeah, 5 hours of just
that's just liaison. Then you race until 5 p.m. and then there's another 3 or 4 hour liaison after that.
Yeah.
So like but I got a good one for Sean, because this was one of my gnarly stories. We were actually racing in Africa, and we were following like, we were top 5 overall, and we were following one of the minis, and we followed a mini over a cliff, and so we drove, and a mini had driven off a cliff. It was like 14, 16 feet high. And,
oh, dude.
Yeah, so the mini fell off, totaled itself, and like was on its side, and the doors were all off of it. The windows were blown out of it, and like Was it Stefan Petterhansel?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it wasn't. It's Stefan Pitterhansel. He's like Mr. Dakar.
Yeah.
That's the guy in the mini. He's
So-
like a
And the car was
14-time
smoked?
Dakar champion.
Oh yeah, so he's on his side. They're like getting out. Well, we come over this thing, full tilt, and put the binders on. Dude, I end up getting the car stopped off like a little ledge, and we're sitting. It's like 15 feet vertical. We're hanging by our straps. The car shuts off because the fuel pumps. All the fuel went to the front. Shut the car off, and we're hanging over. And now there's a totaled mini below us.
No way.
Oh yeah, so now we're sitting
Dude,
there.
this is like a cartoon.
Oh, dude. And now, hey, this is where, like, all I want to do is win. I'm like, sitting there, Sean, you got to get out of the car. You got to get out, and we got to
Back up.
So the car wouldn't run. So, dude, well, now the car's dangling. So if he gets out, it's super dangerous and gnarly. So, dude, we end up, like, before he unbuckles, he opens the window net because it swings and, like, opens a door and, like, gets his feet, gets everything ready to go. Because I'm full on the brakes on a cliff.
Yeah.
Can't move because the car
Like
will just
balancing.
Oh yeah, it would have taken nothing. You could have touched the car and the car would have flipped over
Whoa.
and landed on a mini up below us.
Like a fly land on it kind of thing.
dude,
We got super lucky with that because Stefan's wife was navigating for him, and she was actually climbing out of the car when we came over. If we honestly would have gone over, we would have landed straight on top of her. We would have killed her.
Oh
And
my
same
gosh.
with
Dude.
when I was getting out the car, I know the teetering. I knew if that thing slipped when I was halfway out trying to get out, it would have smoked me as well. So, and no joke, like it pivoted to a point where the fuel pumps weren't picking up fuel, and Stefan had to come up and actually help me put a tow strap on it, and just with our weight try and get the back wheels to touch the ground so that we can pull this thing off. And we're talking like literally an inch that the front wheels are holding on. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Wild,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, by the way, we're in Africa, like 12 hours from an airport. So like,
Holy smokes.
shit, it's a fan. It's gnarly.
Dude.
We got the car. Stefan and his wife came and strapped it up. We pulled the car back. They pulled it back. We got it running, and we still went and won.
Dude, holy cow. Dude, that's so crazy. Though. And I'm sure that there's a million more stories that happen in big, long races like that. But
Oh yeah. Oh,
dude, that's wild, man. And then so, like, when you go through an experience like that, I don't know, like, if how you feel about it, Sean, but is that something like, dude, I'm staying with this guy for the rest of his racing career, or I'm out?
No, I mean, those are the things you don't expect it to happen, but when it does happen, it's one of those things, unfortunately, and you just kind of once your heart rate drops back down, you kind of think about what just happened and you move on. You just keep going, and it wasn't his fault. It was a perfect sand dune to a cliff. It looked like there was maybe just a razorback on the backside, but it was just a sheer. I saw pictures of it actually, of like what it looked like on the back, and it was insane.
We got our boys from KMC, Ryan Gaitis. He's joining us, dude. You know this guy pretty well, Casey.
I do. I had to call him too. No bad stories.
Oh, is that how it works? So behind the scenes, logistically, you guys are preparing the show for me. So thanks, Ryan. How's it going today?
Good.
Man, you've known Casey for a long time, huh?
It has been a minute.
It's been a while.
Dude, it's pretty cool to see that all these stories, though. I don't know if you've been listening, Ryan, or if you just got home from work, but Sean and Casey were talking about one time when they were in Dakar and they were teetering off a cliff. Like, dude, those racing stories can go on and on and on, but it's pretty cool to see that they have that, I don't know, structure to be able to still continue on, man, because those moments get intense.
And still safe.
Say that again. Could you go a little closer? Because we can't hear you very much.
Still they're able to be.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty crazy, right? And then, like, so moving on, like, that's 2019, you said, right?
Yeah.
So moving on, like, what's the move? Do you, like, call all your sponsors, and like Ryan, for instance, and you say, all right, I'm really into this. Like, I want to do it. And then 2020, you go out there guns blazing with Sean?
Yeah, well, basically, we got, dude, it really takes a team. There's a lot of, because the KMC thing was gnarly because we were shipping rims and tires all over the world because the boat and the trucks and everything are remember, everything is in different states. So the team is based out of Portugal, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the team is out of Portugal. but we never race in Portugal. You always race in other countries. So like, just the logistics that obviously KMC had to help. We were literally shipping wheels around like all the way to Africa. When we would go to Dakar, they would ship straight to Saudi Arabia. The year before, we were shipping to Peru. Like there's a lot that goes on with all that stuff.
Dude, that's pretty wild. Do you remember going through all that, Guidus? Because that's probably like I don't know, I don't want to say like a logistical nightmare, but that's probably a lot of extra work, man. That's pretty cool that you guys want to support that.
I think that was my stint on a little high basis for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I never had to deal with it. I think it was you guys. We just gave. It was just a nightmare for you guys everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So you just give them the list and they were able to execute on it?
Yeah, there's just a lot going on. There's just a lot of different things to move in.
Dude, but okay, so let's actually talk a little bit about that stuff too. And Sean can probably still relate to it a lot because of what he deals with on a daily basis. But like the logistical portion, so like we all see on social media, we see you racing Dakar. We think it's going to be a great time. But there's a lot of stuff, like you said, that we don't see. All of the logistical stuff, like you're talking about with Guidus and with Sean. And then there's the liaison portions of it. So what are some of the things that you work with on a daily basis with these two guys that would be good to execute to win?
Oh, first you got to have good partners and good parts, right? So like, even with Ryan and KMC, like obviously you have to go on equipment that's going to win. It doesn't matter how shiny it is or if there's a paycheck behind it. You have to be on equipment that's going to go there and withstand all the torture. But as far as like with Sean and everything that we did, like, yeah, remember you're driving for 12 days in a row. The opportunities to fail are way greater than success. So like,
dude,
we got, literally the year we won, we got in a head-on the highway with a freaking 12-year-old kid that stole his dad's truck.
That's wild, really?
Yeah, literally got a head-on, crazy deal. We got all kinds. There's stories for days because you got to remember, like our team. For the opportunity, that South Racing deal, we had 45 people around us to help make that thing survive.
Right.
Between truck drivers and motorhome drivers and cooks and there's lawyers and there's team managers and there's you have day mechanics and night mechanics.
Well, just on the building portion of it, I know that South Racing builds right around 65 cars a year now.
Yeah, it's wild.
Dude, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Guidus, what's funny is we were talking about earlier, we were talking about Casey got into all this stuff because motocross and his dad and like starting out on PW50s and stuff. Dude, I feel like that's such a common thread between all of us.
I know, it sounds like the races.
Yeah, all of us start like Sean's trying to.
Hey,
he's trying to dodge the baby. He's trying to dodge the baby. Do you see that, Ryan? He's all walking around looking at the baby. So yeah, congratulations on the new baby as well, Sean.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So do you, when you listen to these stories about like what we just talked about motocross and stuff? Is your baby a boy or a girl?
Boy.
Do you think he's gonna get a dirt bike? You think?
He's got him in his garage right now.
No way! You already got the PW50 or whatever, or the Stasic?
He's got a KX65.
No, really?
Yeah.
He's got it all lined up. And Guidus, whenever you get your kid, you're gonna have to have the little mini bike lined up for him too. It sounds like.
I have a little girl on the way, so yeah.
You think she's gonna want one?
Oh, I already have everything already. So yeah, she's ready to.
Dialed. See, it all starts, man. It all starts with two wheels. I love it. So, Guidus, how long have you known Casey?
I think I met him a couple times days, but I met him when I first started about 6 years ago. But him with Mike Bell, so doing all that. One of our favorite people. So that was the time back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because, funny, like, the person that brought me to KMC Wheels was actually Mike Bell. Like,
yep.
Obviously passed away a couple years ago, but
solid dude.
Fantastic human being. But once again, met him through the motocross industry. When I was racing Supermoto, he worked at Oakley. And, but once again, like, the relationships or dirt bikes, like, that dude was a gnarly human being on a dirt bike and
anything with two wheels.
On a bicycle.
Yeah.
Even his kids are, every time you ride bicycles with him, you just get your ass kicked the entire time because no matter how fast you ride, they can literally ride faster everywhere you go.
Hey, did either of you guys, Sean or excuse me, Guidus, did you know that Casey did Supermoto stuff?
A little bit, dabbled. Hey, I just don't Casey. That's all I always
Yeah,
do
big
him.
4-wheel guy. Did you know, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, he told me all kinds of stuff when the amount of hours we spent driving just on long highways and just have to talk and
That's so true.
come up with all kinds
Dude,
of
we're
stuff.
talking 7 hours a day on the highway before you race.
So what's the vibe then in those situations? Like, all right, so say Guidus and I are going to race Dakar with you guys, and we're going to or against you guys. Like, what are we doing? Are we talking like for like 14?
So in the car, there's no stereo, music, nothing. So like, you're literally just in the car, cruising down the freeway with your helmet on.
Hot as shit, or is it?
Well, there were some mornings it was below 25 degrees, and then there's some days where it's 115. So it just depends on what day it is. So you got to be ready for it all.
Guidus, are you ready to drive the liaison stage for 7 hours in weather like this?
I need a stereo.
I think the longest the liaison I did the one time in a T4 was the last stage. I think it was like 2016 or something like that. So you literally on the last stage of the Dakar, you finished, and then you still had to drive 9.5 hours to get to the finish on the highway.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Dude,
I
that's
actually didn't even cross the finish because I had to catch a flight because it was such a long liaison. I got out the truck. I had my bags with me. I was still in my racing overalls, got in a taxi and went straight to the airport and flew back to the States before even going over the finish line over Dakar.
Dude, that's wild. And okay, so what's the rules then? Do you have to sit in the car till the liaison is done, or can you get out?
Driver does. Technically, the driver. Well, in a T3, you have two co-drivers.
Right?
So like, I'm sure there's ways around all that stuff.
Dude.
Well, and he wasn't going technically. The T4, because they're a support truck. Like, he wasn't going for the overall. Like, for him and I, when we were racing, dude, the rules are insane. There's rules for everything.
So if Guidus is driving and I'm passenger, can I get out before, like, in the middle of the liaison, or do I got to wait till the liaison's over?
No, you drive the whole. You're in the car the whole time. No one else is allowed to get in the car ever.
But
normally,
if
some
anybody
people.
does, you're out. You're disqualified.
That's right.
Oh, dude, that's wild.
So you could have like the navigator can drive for the driver so that you can take turns sleeping, but you have to be in the car, and same as like obviously guys on bikes. If your vehicle ever touches a trailer or you get out, you're done.
Dude, that's wild, Guidus.
I did drive. I drove the whole way because Andrew Short and Ricky Braybrick were talking shit. So I didn't want to be called car life guy over here.
Yeah.
I did move the car like 15 feet to the
gas
fuel
station.
station the one day.
Yeah, I literally drove the whole way just to make sure that Ricky and them wouldn't talk shit on me.
That's funny.
And he made it a point too, because when I did get in to try and like just move it, he's like, no, I got this. I'm not gonna
Really?
do the
Yeah,
end of it
15
if I-"
days, man. 15 days. I was like, no way, because they're like, we all had like the fun part about Dakar is the fact that you're living in a bivouac, so there is no like you're all together as a community.
Right.
So like, dude, between Ricky Braybeck, Mean American, Johnny Campbell, you had Jesse Jones, AJ Jones, you had Andrew Short, like, dude, all these American guys hanging out. Like, you only have so many guys that can even speak English.
Got it.
So you got to go out there and hang out, and everyone's always talking shit. So like, if there's a weak link, they're gonna talk shit.
That probably builds like your profile and builds your confidence and stuff though too, right?
Yeah, like, dude, because you have to remember you're eating in like in the bivouac, eating halt. Well, before COVID, like, you go and eat dinner in like a big group of people.
Right.
So like, just the camaraderie of hanging out with everyone, it makes it a lot more fun.
Dude, that is wild though. So Guidus just said he's out. Like, I kind of feel the same like as he does. But dude, imagine if we got the opportunity to experience something like that, Ryan. Like what Casey's saying would like light a fire under our ass to be able to do better. Like, so we'd probably be able to step up to the plate if we had to.
I just remember Seth talking all the things he had to, how to read the map. That's above my.
Yeah. So
one thing that's funny you say that. One thing that I've wanted to do, and I want to do. Obviously, I don't even know how to do it. I do know how to do it a little bit, but one thing is to go out and literally plan out a route and do a ride where like Sean could help. We can create a road book. Andrew Shore could or Ricky could help us create a road book.
Yeah.
But we'll print out all the pages. We'll put all the because
and do like a practice run.
yeah, and literally go and like at the river, which there's all kinds of stuff in Vegas area, in Mojave Valley, Havasu area, but go out and do like a 75-mile ride where we invite everybody who wants to learn. You get your best co-driver you've ever had in your entire life. That he's
he's your guy.
He's your guy, and we'll put him in a car, and with all the right equipment, and all you got to do is drive to the finish line.
All right, guide us. I got a Pro R. Sign us up.
I do want to do that. This winter, I'll try to line something up. We'll get a bunch of people, and we'll go out, and Sean can help explain the road books, and literally we'll go out and do it. And
hey, we should put Ryan Edwards and James Hill in the same car and see how they do against us. Guide us. You think they could beat us?
Edwards is the worst.
Oh, I feel like that would be pretty fun, though. I really do. Those are kind of cool ideas. And so let me just bring up a little marketing point here. So hearing creative ideas like this, Ryan, from Casey, that's a lot of the reason that he creates value in his racing program or in his ambassador program, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's a huge thing that a lot of the people that watch this show can take away from this, is coming up with creative ideas like this and executing on them does actually help out quite a bit.
No, it does. I mean, what's cool with Casey is, side, time Casey goes something, you should see the back photos, videos, like assets that are social media used. So I mean, it's a professional program that an athlete, but it's everything else in. So Casey, one thing, but everything just my turn.
Yeah, totally. So it's well-rounded. And Casey and I talked about this a little bit before the show, too, is that he has a media team. Not that everybody can afford a media team, but my media team is right here in my hand, right?
You got to start somewhere.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you're doing a lot of those things, and it doesn't just mean that you have to do it on this grandiose level. You can do it by just going down to your local, shopping mart with your buddies and just like putting up your stuff and providing some sort of return.
I think the biggest thing you do, anyone can do at this point, is just showing something that's entertaining for other people to watch, or giving them an experience that one day they want to go experience the same thing, or, even for that is, showing the capabilities of something, right? From us, we drive a lot, like with the King of the Hammers and, Dakar, going to do Trail Hero where you're just completely smashing on products.
Yeah.
A lot of that is, some people just care about, they want to buy the same product for their vehicle. If you can definitely get those sponsors out there that will pay you the money. But
hey, you got some pretty cool shit on these vehicles, dude.
Yeah. Well, we beat the living shit out of them, man. And here's where I'm at. It's not that I don't like a lot of money, but I don't like working on anything. I don't want to go and break rims because they're junk. Like these rims. Actually, it's funny. These rims. Actually, half of them are Bryce Menzies. I got, but these rims raced King of the Hammers, did the entire Hammers, and then did Denora, and besides some rock rash on the rings.
Hey, when you get rid of these, I'll take them and I'll use them and I'll have the same stories.
No, we can't get rid of them. They're very precious right
now. Hey, so both of you guys, let's just say, actually, Ryan, why don't you answer this first? If you could drive with Casey in any vehicle that he has or any event that he goes to, what would you pick? Would you go in a Jeep like on the Rubicon? Would you go out in the desert? Would you go in a Razor out in, let's just say, the Sonora Rally or something? Where would you go? What's your vibe with all the stuff that he does?
I mean, I've been in a UTV. Fun part for me. And I remember just in Moab, just having him drive things, just like, you're gonna go up that, hammer down. I'm like, what? And he pulls up everything. Hero. There was one part where I didn't want to do it because I think it's rolling. But I'm watching. He's like, I was just watching. But I think rock related.
I feel like that's pretty cool though. Like, and that actually says a lot about one of the subjects that we were going to talk about, is Casey's driving prowess or driving techniques and stuff like that. What does it say there? KMC send this. I can't read it because of the glare. Clinton says SR5 some wheels. They probably make them for your car, man. It talks a lot about your driving skills and your driving prowess. You've been doing it for a long time, but there's very few people that can execute on stuff like that and have the confidence to do that. And you have a lot of versatility in your driving, like what Ryan is saying. For a guy like me, that's a little bit more of a green than you are, I would have a lot of trouble going up some of those rocks. So is that just like a practice makes perfect thing, or is it?
I think it is, but it's funny. Like Owen and I were talking about racing hare and hounds and going like think about the trails that you race on dirt bikes. Right, everything you do on a dirt bike, the similarity for me. Well, I guess now I don't think it's that gnarly, but I mean, there's some trails that make people very uncomfortable, especially in Sand Hollow. You can put a UTV in a very bad situation. Were you there the time when Dustin and all of them were there?
When Dustin basically
yes, that was There's some boys. The problem is everyone put peer pressure, man. Not gonna say no. And neither is any of our friends. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
bad influences.
All of us, even at Dakar, you had bad influences. Yeah. We had a comment come in. I forgot who just wrote it in, but are you going to bring the trophy Jeep to Crandon?
No, it's getting some. It's actually cut the whole front. The whole front's gone.
Oh, Vegas Reno, and then you just chop it up.
Doing portals on the front. It's getting a whole new transfer case. She's getting a lot of love next year.
Dang.
Big year for next year.
That's going to be wild. All right, so Sean, if you couldn't ride with Casey in the current car that you're riding in, which is the Razor, what other car would you want to ride with him in?
I think the trophy Jeep probably.
Oh,
go for
we'd have some
spin in that.
Yeah, we'd have some fun together.
Big horsepower guy right here.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, he's been around the Menzies. He always knows how to go fast. So.
Well, not only that, but he's like, dude, I'm still like, he's my favorite part of I'm sorry, dude, but he's my favorite part of the show because I love the trash trucks, dude. I love the trash trucks.
Everywhere
I can tell you stories for days.
Everywhere you go, that's all everyone wants to ask about. Bro, he had this one time, he was sitting in the middle, the guy in the middle in the back.
Guidus, would you do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I tell you, dude.
Never.
First year I did.
Yeah. The guys that he rode with, his buddies, are gnarly.
How wild does it get?
So the first year I rode in a T4. I rode with 2 Spanish guys. They spoke 0 English. And on day 6, we were going down the road, wide open, and the driver steps off to the side of the road. There's this big old mound. I think I paced it out. It was like 60 or 70 feet. We jumped, we got air, landed, and the driver broke his back.
No way. They're getting that gnarly?
So we had to heli him out, broke his back. We had to heli him out, and then I sat in the right seat, and the guy that was in the right seat drove the truck, and we finished the next week, just the 2 of us. And I had to navigate to him in Spanish. And so I had terminology just like rock, caution, left, right, from English to Spanish on the dash. So I would navigate and then try and translate it in Spanish so he understood it.
Holy cow, Guidus, you got a lot of pressure on yourself now, dude.
Well, the other thing, if you not to like when you're winning and you're in the front, it's all easy because you're getting done by like 5 to 10 p.m. Dude, there was a time that they flipped over in the fog, spent the night up in a truck upside down, slept there. The next day, another trash truck came and flipped them over. Then they had to go flip somebody else over. They got to the finish line at 8 in the morning to then literally turn around and start the next day 10 minutes later.
Dude, that's so wild. Guidus, I don't know if we could pull this off, man. I don't know if we're man enough.
No.
You got to see the photo. If you had the photos, if you ever see Sean, you got to see the photos. He literally slept in the sand dunes. It was super foggy and wet.
Yeah.
And they slept in a truck upside down. The truck was literally upside down all night.
That's wild. So you're sleeping on the roof, but on the gravity.
Well,
dude, that's so crazy.
It got so cold. So the 2 guys slept outside. So I was like, screw this. I'm getting back in the cab and just made myself comfortable and tried to close everything up so my body would like keep it sealed, because it got and you know how the desert is at nighttime, it drops.
Dude, that's wild, man. Holy cow. It's just like hearing all these stories. We could probably have a full episode just on Dakar stories,
bro,
man.
it never ends.
Pretty
There's
wild.
so many gnarly ones.
Dude, that's so crazy. All right, guide us. What kind of stuff do you guys have working with Casey for the rest of the year?
Just trying to get him by the end of the year and all that stuff. It's been work in progress. Getting Polaris, blog, along with everything. Just hopefully these race sand scramble be fun.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Would you be down to do that?
Are they doing it this year?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be pretty rad.
We'll do that. We got to go see if we don't crash them in the rocks first.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, this guy's got a lot of events going on. But that would be cool to see him out at the sand scramble, like you said, guys.
I would love to, if we're that actually, yes, if we don't break all of our stuff and go out and be idiots too gnarly, then we'll probably be there for sure.
There you go. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, guys. We're going to get Aaron Quesada on here, too. So thank you very much for always being a partner of the show and obviously helping Casey out, too. It's rad to connect.
Of course.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, man. We'll see you later. So, Sean, we're going to just finalize all this stuff with you. And just the only other question that I kind of had for you was, where do you see, like, if you had to take a guess, where do you see things going with you and Casey in the future? Are you going to participate with him anymore, or how things working?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's quite a bright future ahead of all kinds of events. Like this year, I rode with him at King of the Hammers, did all pre-running and all that stuff, and unfortunately we didn't make it too far in the race, but
I flipped her over backwards.
Good job, dude.
Hey, at least it wasn't a far walk back.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the bright side.
But
yeah, no, there's going to be all kinds of events, and
we got to go back. We haven't, dude. COVID hit, 2020. We won Dakar 2 weeks later, or 2 months later, and the world shut down.
Yeah, everything got flipped upside down.
We got to go back and redeem ourselves. That is one of the there is a day where we will go back.
Yeah. So how was that experience? And we're going to get Aaron Quesada on here in just a second, but I would like to end the conversation with Sean about that. Like, how was the whole experience for you at Dakar? Because the first year is really stressful, and then you go out and you win, and you bring home the title to the United States. Like, that's a phenomenal achievement for anybody's life.
But what everyone does, it's the hardest. It's the hardest thing that I think for sure, having a partner that can understand and relate and be the calm source, is that the amount of pressure that was on us was freaking insane. Like, the news and the media, because there's media news all the time, and there's people asking questions like every single minute you're out of the car, and like
right. So it's not like you're just there to race.
No,
you have to.
But here's how I look at it. Imagine racing the Baja 500, and 100 miles from the finish, you're gonna stop and sleep. And they're going to interview you going like, so it looks like you're going to win the race. So how do you feel about winning when you still have 100 miles to go, right? For us, it was 250 miles. But like the pressure, you have to sleep knowing that, there's 14 days. And like we took over the overall lead at like halfway mark. And at that point, every day, the news is waiting for you to buckle, right? That's what Americans do. We've completely gone there. And year after year, something always seems to happen to the American.
Right, because they want the story.
That is the story, right? Oh, there it is. You finally, you guys buckled. But like, for us, like to go in like the last 2 days, like especially the last night, is the fact that like we have everything to lose, right? Everything is there, all that pressure, and now you have to sleep on it. You have to literally go to bed knowing that you got to get up and drive.
It's exactly the opposite of motocross and short course.
It's everything that you've never, and like there's nothing like it in America. I've never in my life had that there's nothing I could train for to even mimic it. Racing the Ball 1000, you're already
the same,
you're in the moment. Here you have to completely get out of the moment. You have to sleep, because if you don't sleep, you're going to be tired the next day.
So now I understand why you're saying that Sean is so important, because he has to not just deal with the directions, he has to deal with you.
Oh, dude.
So how is that, Sean? Because that's pretty wild thinking about that.
I've heard some stories from Aaron, because obviously he's ridden with you and stuff, and Oren. They're like, watch out. There's going to be some moments. And to be honest, there hasn't really been a ton where I've had to kind of coax him off the ledge, maybe one or two. But for the most part, I mean, he stays pretty calm. You know how it is. Everybody, once they put the helmet on, you get serious and things happen and situations happen. But I mean, he seems to be pretty good. And there are some times where I kind of have to say some words, and
let me give you my last day. The night I was sleeping, I went through my entire car in my head of what if we broke, how would we fix every piece in the car, to get the finish line. And the only thing we had a 45-minute lead. The only thing in the car that I couldn't fix in my head in 45 minutes between Sean and I, we can fix a lot of things. So I was like, the steering rack would take us an hour to fix, no matter how, if our teammates were there to help us, and we had a spare one.
It's just
it's a big job. So dude, for some reason that day the car had a ton of bump steer, and I think there was a shock dilemma thing that we don't even need to get into, but that next day, so
you were like, oh shit.
And that night, so Sean does all the drivers meetings, and they tell you it's gnarly navigation, sand, rocks, blah blah. So Sean had we were in a technical area that would be very crucial in the point. I had Sean unbuckle his seatbelts and climb through the window and adjust my shocks and while racing.
Really?
I had to. I was losing my freaking mind. That the only thing I couldn't fix in the car was was the steering rack.
So you just soften up the shocks and let it take a little less?
Yeah.
Dude, that's Sean, were you okay with that? Because that's pretty wild.
That was definitely a moment where I kind of looked at him. I was like, are you being serious? I'm trying to keep pace, and because it's the last day, I also don't want to mess up, because this is it. If I screw this up, I've seen people throw Dakars away on the last day.
Dude, so talk about pressure.
Yeah,
and now I got to climb through the window and adjust some shocks on the speed section. I'm just like, but we did it. I mean, we got
did
through it.
So, okay. Well, and so one thing that I'm learning here is and I've known you for a long time, but I don't know a lot of these detail things, but I can tell that you're able to compartmentalize a lot of these things, right? So you think about all these things, but you're able to put it off if it doesn't need to be thought about, and then you're able to retract and put it back into place if it does need to be addressed.
Oh, yeah. I literally thought about every single part of the entire car.
That's wild.
But the funny thing at the end of it, I didn't know that there was 4 waypoints. Remember, he's telling me where to go. I can go left and I can go right, but there's guys getting lost all the time. So we could see a car ahead of us going the wrong way. So if he got lazy, went out and adjusted the shocks and got lazy and just said follow that car, could have thrown or hold the car away.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so he's
still trying to pay attention to where I'm going while I'm
my gosh, dude.
yelling in his ear
the
about
hardest thing as a navigator is seeing another car go another direction and you trusting your gut to say, no, I know I'm right and we need to go left instead of right, and making that choice. Because once you commit, you got to go, and either it works out or it doesn't. And you feel, I mean, it's a huge accomplishment when you're like, hell yeah, we went the right way and we didn't follow that other guy because that guy got lost. There's been many times where I've seen valleys that people are turning around and you get into a panic and you don't know what you're doing, or you're trying to figure out where you're trying to retrace your steps backwards and where you got lost. Because it's not just a matter of leaving a trail behind you. When you turn around, you then got to pick up where you were, recalculate all your distances and all that stuff.
Oh, because everything changes.
Back to where you are. Yeah, and you've added total distance. So whatever you drive backwards, you got to think in your head, how far did I drive? Now I got to subtract that because I've just gained that from going in the wrong direction.
Dude,
otherwise everything else won't make sense.
So exactly what you're saying, driving in Dakar is not easy, but it's easier.
Oh, wait, no. Like he said, he could easily throw my whole race away by telling me to go left instead of right.
That's why you're saying it's so important.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and the pressure
that
just
rally stuff. There is no, like in the States and everything, pre-running and all that stuff. Your navigator is there to be able to make good notes for you and be a good tire changer but you're at the end of the day, once you've pre-ran so many times, these guys know the course. There's markers, there's all that stuff. When you race rally, that guy in the right seat, if he's not with you, you will not go 100 yards in the right direction.
Yeah.
You have to, it's such a team between the driver and navigator in order to finish those races.
Dude, in the motorcycle guys, yeah, we could talk about that for a whole time too. Yeah, that's wild. All right, so the only other question I have for you guys about Dakar before we get Aaron Quesada on is, what was the gnarliest thing that you guys ate when you were over there?
He eats all that shit.
Oh, he gets wild?
This guy's gnarly.
You always got to try it
So
once.
orange, dude. Both these guys are all sick.
No, I'm not trying all that stuff.
I did mac and cheese and chicken in my motorhome.
Dude, I'm on Casey's
He
team.
eats like his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally would go and eat so all the food is always in a sauce. So that's how it works. So you actually never see the texture because you can't see the food.
Yeah.
They always put it in a sauce. A white sauce, a red sauce, a green sauce.
Yeah.
But no matter what, the fish, the meat, it's always in a sauce.
You're not about that?
No, not like, dude, we're going for the win
Oh,
overall.
yeah.
This guy's eating like something and a green sauce.
And
like,
you're just waiting for him to have a blowout?
oh no, you're dude. Like, no, dude, his stomach can handle all that. I'm like, dude, I was stressed out the whole time, like eating anything that was making me feel like I was at home.
Dude, I would probably do the mac and cheese too. What was the gnarliest thing that you ate? Do you remember?
Nothing that really stood out, but there's some definitely crazy taste. I don't know what it was. I couldn't tell you.
They never
but
tell you.
I ate it. I tried it, and I mean, I think going in Morocco when we did the Morocco rally, driving down the roads and seeing all the storefronts with all the skinned goats hanging, like every
Ugh.
store has like 5 or 6 goats hanging upside down that are skinned, and
That
they're
is
just
true.
gonna cook them up for you real quick. And
Oh,
yeah, no, it's
not my jam.
Yeah, dude, I'm not
not-
into it either. I'd probably have the hardest time eating if I went to a rally like that. All right, Sean, well, hey, we really appreciate you coming on, man. What do you got going next? Like, when are you going to meet up with Casey again?
I don't know. I think
Tell
I'm
Trail
sure
Hero.
sometime soon.
Trail Hero? Is that where you...
Yeah,
you-
that'll be.
him to come to. You gotta come to Utah. He's got to get him and his
I'll
wife
check
and the
it out.
baby out of the house now.
Yeah. Sounds like you're going to Trail Hero, dude.
Sign
Sand
me up, I'm
Hollow,
ready.
baby.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Sean. Really appreciate it. We're going to get Aaron on in just a second here. All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll see you at the races soon.
Thanks, guys. We'll chat later.
Nice chat.
Later. Dude, those are some crazy stories. Do they bring back little memories and stuff for
Oh
you?
yeah, it's funny because you forget about all this stuff, and it is wild. It's an adventure for sure that everyone needs to know about.
Yeah, it's a crazy adventure. Like, and just to have the experience that you have had to have that is pretty cool, man.
I would like everyone to come experience. He's one that I want to get out and come and do it as well.
So now we have Aaron Quesada on the line. What's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Oh, we're just hanging out, man. So Casey was talking with Sean and guide us a little bit about Dakar and stuff like that, man. You've got to experience some pretty cool stuff with Casey as well. What's most of the stuff that you do? You ride in the trophy Jeep with him?
I'm the leftover guy. So anything that Oren doesn't want to do, anything that Sean doesn't want to do, I'll get in the car. I'm always down for a good time.
Trophy Jeep guy, dude. He's big power guy.
Oh, big power guy.
Let's be this is my brother that my creativity side and the uniqueness of finding opportunity.
Yeah.
He's very much alike. We go pre-run in Baja for a week, and we just come home with 50 new ideas and create, like you said, like off the racing subject. Obviously, he works at Monster Energy. He does a great job, and like for us to have the ability to go and just bounce ideas off each other and to create new opportunities, not only for ourselves but for other people involved.
Right.
We do a lot of unique, crazy things together.
Well, I like that, though, because that affords you opportunities, right? Just by coming up with these ideas and stuff. And I think that there's a lesson to be learned in just that statement, is because a lot of the younger people that do or don't have sponsors, and the things that every off-road racer wants is just they should be themselves and do like what you're talking about, right? I mean, that's what really works.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, you definitely got to go out and figure out who you are. And obviously with the people that have just been online tonight, I've had a fantastic support team around myself. But we're all supportive. I cherish everybody's family life and all the the friendships we all have. And like us, we spend a lot of time together in Mexico and on all these other trips that we do with Monster Energy. And
Yep.
and on top, I mean, we just have his family's fantastic. We go and do a lot of stuff at the river, and I'm building him a Jeep tomorrow. He doesn't even, we have to talk after this.
Oh, really?
I'm building that red Jeep back there that's bone stock that the guy was carrying the suspension.
Yeah.
I'm going to build him a Jeep in 2 days. One of my mechanics isn't even here today. He'll surprise him tomorrow morning unless he's watching. I'm going to build a Jeep tomorrow so that he can come on the Rubicon.
Nice. Are you stoked on that?
Oh, I'm pumped. Never been.
Dude, that sounds like a good time, man. So, all right, so there's that camaraderie coming back in again, right?
Yeah.
Helping each other, get out and have fun and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Hey, excuse me, Aaron, do you remember when the first time that you met Casey was?
Screwed me at PBR.
I
Really?
think that was probably one of the ones early on at Monster right when I first started. Casey wanted to go to PBR, and so we went and he was talking shit like, "Oh, that doesn't look that hard. I do that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, we'll set it up." And I think the next 2 weeks, 2 weeks later, we set it up for him to go to the PBR training facility and go ride a bull. And we did a whole little video project on it.
There was the activation site. See, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know when some guys talk shit and then
Yeah.
it just goes away?
Yep.
He freaking wasn't that guy.
It made it execute?
Yeah, literally we went and rode bulls. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Dude, that is pretty dumb.
I've done, dude.
O-Ring said the leftover guy. He's laughing about it. Let's see. I can't really see because it's so Hostile Inc. Said Casey is one of the raddest guys in motorsports world. I agree, man. And then, so that's actually something that we should talk about, Aaron, because you guys do a lot of other cool stuff. Like I came to the shop, and I don't know if you guys can see all the way, but there's a Jeep that's kind of behind us, and there's another project car that's being built. You guys do a lot of stuff that's not necessarily dirt related. You also do other stuff that's pretty fun too in the motorsports world, like Hostility said.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we went this year to Bike Week in Florida, and I built a drift Jeep.
Yeah.
And, Aaron gave us the opportunity when, one of his projects was basically putting on a big old show at, not Jeep Beach, but Daytona Bike Week. And, giving us the opportunity to figure out a way to go out and put on a really good show. For me, tying in Jeep and tying in all my brands, taking the Polaris Razors and jumping them in front of the crowd and, doing burnouts in Jeeps, it just really gives us the opportunity to, expand our horizons as far as meeting new people.
Well, dude, plus it's fun, right? Yeah, and we just had a comment that came in that said Aaron is badass. Yeah, we agree, man. But so what's it like to ride in the trophy Jeep with this wild man?
The thing is insane. One of the most fun vehicles I've been in.
Yeah, so I barely got to actually see it at Vegas to Reno. That's the first time I've got to see that beast. Yeah, so I only got to walk around it for the 3 seconds that I was in your pits or whatever. But dude, that thing is pretty wild, Aaron. Like, what does it feel like when you're sitting in the Jeep? I mean, because first of all, this dude can drive.
It's insane the progression. Like through the years, I think it's been about 6 or 7 years since I've been riding with Casey, but. Casey is always pushing the limits and always testing and trying to get it better. And from where it started to where it's progressed, where it is now, just like he's cutting the front end off, doing portals and all the upgrades, like it just keeps getting better and better.
Dude, it's so wild to think. Like the first version of the trophy Jeep, did you think it would come this far?
No. Well, it's crazy. Yeah, like you said, we didn't really know what we were getting new because I'd never everyone thinks I raced desert. I was a short course guy, man.
Right.
So like literally. Orr and I went out and raced the Magpul trophy truck, got the opportunity with Magpul to come out and do more stuff. And then when Orrin moved
I remember when you did that, though. You were a little timid. You wanted to do it, but...
we knew nothing. No chase truck. Like Orrin said earlier, no chase trucks, no nothing. And then meeting, obviously then at the time, like you're saying, dude, right when Aaron, 7 years ago now, it's crazy, time flies. But with him, dude, instant connection, then hitting it off, and then when Orrin moved to Florida, I'm like, dude, I need somebody to ride with me I gotta have a very unique type of person. Everyone's very mellow. Aaron's mellow, Orrin's mellow, Sean's very mellow, because I get a little riled up sometimes. I get a little feisty, a little moody, but that's one thing that when you're going that fast, like in the the trophy Jeep or any off-road vehicles, when you're going that fast, you really have to have trust in somebody. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Right.
You got to have that trust and to have that support system for me to go. You know, he'll never put me in danger, and I really try hard not to put him in danger, right? So like him really focusing on the notes and focusing on the terrain to make sure that we're not going to drive that thing off a cliff, right? Like those are the type of things that you got to have 100% trust in that co-driver.
Well, one thing that I'm noticing, Aaron, you probably noticed this because you've known Casey for so long, is that he puts a lot of trust in other people, right? Like, obviously, in his business life and all of the things that he does with his racing career. But he's good at understanding who can do what well, right? And so he's putting you guys in these positions because he knows that you guys can help him, and then vice versa, he can help you. And those things are really, really cool, not just in racing, but in life in general. So you got to respect that quite a bit.
Oh, totally. It was wild even before when Casey was talking about wanting to do rally in Dakar. He had asked me if I wanted to learn and do the rally stuff. And I know my limits. I know what I'm good at. I can't do quick math in my head. Like, we'd be so lost. Like, obviously appreciated the opportunity and the consideration, but it's been awesome to get to know Sean. That's kind of how I met Sean. And I think that first trip is when I went to Morocco with those dudes and got to see firsthand rally. I was in Saudi when Casey won as well, and it's been awesome. Went to Brazil with them last year for the Certos rally, and
that's cool. Yeah, so it's
insane.
cool to see that. And then I really like that you can afford these people the opportunity first, and then second, that they can support you, but you understand what they're good at, right? Like, not that Aaron is limited, but you understood that Sean would be a better fit for you, and you guys had the talk together and said, hey, you know what, this is going to be the best for everybody.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we all got to be real with each other at some point.
Right.
But I would like, it is funny. Like, now you say that, like, for anyone out there, like, having a support system, like Sean and I racing, we had a lot of pressure on us, but I also had a team. We had a humongous team around us, but like I had, Aaron and, Aaron's boss, Dave, both were there supporting, like, to have that support from Monster with us as moral support, not putting pressure on me, but helping me stay calm during the route. Like, I had support from, Monster Energy at a level that, like, it wasn't a financial level as far as when we were there. It was the level of, like, they were there to support me, whether we won or we lost. We had a bad day or we had a good day.
But you had a focus and a goal.
I had people that literally were there to basically do whatever it took to get me to be to that finish line.
All right, so let me ask both you and Aaron a personal question then. So I've understood that over the past 10 years or so, my life, I really enjoy focusing on a goal or milestones and reaching these certain things, whether it was in racing, being a champion, whether it's growing a business, all of these things, right? Do you guys feel that same way and associate the team to be able to get those goals?
Oh, I do, absolutely. I think, obviously with the brand, like he's got his own goals and his own things. And like, for me, anywhere I can go to help basically make a project become more successful for the opportunity to have the brand be more successful is what we're all about, right? Like,
so teamwork.
Oh, 100%. Dude, it is a massive team. And yes, 100%. And it's being on the same page all the time, because it's easy for people to get cocky and think they can go out and run and do it by themselves. But like, for me, as you can see, I got a support team around me everywhere we go, doing all these different things. And like him the same way, right? When he has an idea or a vision on something that like he will pitch to us, dude, we go out of our way to do whatever we can to be as supportive as we can to make sure that his ideas become a real deal, so that, obviously for the opportunity for success as a business, it's there.
What does that actually, how does that translate? Like, let's just say you're talking to little Johnny or to me, and I'm a beginner, Aaron, and you want to allow me or help me to achieve my goals. What kind of advice do you give? Like, because you're obviously a good support mechanism for Casey, but he's also feeding you ideas. But what if it's somebody fresh like me?
I think it really just depends on, what you want to do. And obviously anything that you do, you have to be passionate about. We laugh all the time. Like, we get heated or, we get excited, and it's like because we truly just care so much about what we're doing, and we want to make it badass and successful and good. And so, I'd say first and foremost, you have to have that passion about it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the racers do, especially the youngsters, man. They want the support and they want to do it. So just when I talk to people about this stuff, it really means a lot to me because I see the support system and the camaraderie like we talked about at the beginning of the show. And I understand now that what it is it's really all the teamwork and all of everybody working together to reach one goal.
Oh, 100%. It literally, with Aaron and all our, even all my other, sponsors and partners and, all the relationships we have, a lot of it comes down to, like, to me, a lot of my partners are my friends, right? Beyond the racing and the business side of it, truly having an understanding of who every person is and what their goals and what their visions are.
Right.
Just so that way, whether it's on a personal side or on a business side, we can all be on the same page, right? Because we all have the same goal. It's a job for all of us. It's an opportunity for all of us to succeed. And for me, like I said, I'm an open book, man. Aaron knows. I got Ryan from KMC. I got a lot of people around me that communicate and talk, with my program or now without my program, that we just have created all these relationships outside of racing that literally tie into other opportunities.
Yeah, it's super cool to see that, man. All right, let's get back to some of the more simple questions, Aaron. So, riding in the passenger seat with Casey is what we're talking about today because it's his show. What is some of the funnest stuff that you get to do in the trophy Jeep with Casey? Is it jumping? Is it going through massive whoops? Is it high-speed stuff? Is it corners? Like, what are you going to pick as your favorite?
All of the above, everything. What's funny is...
Oh, he's picking option D.
When we go in pre-run, right, we'll make our nose sound Baja and whatnot. And, like, jumps, obviously, it's fun going as fast and letting that thing fly. But Casey always has that little bit of reservation. Like, oh, Mark, hey, this is good to jump. And unless he sees a photographer there, then he'll back up.
Really?
I don't need to risk it, man. I'm okay. We're okay on time. I'm just gonna let the throttle up a little bit.
And Aaron, he already said earlier he ain't trying to work on these things afterwards.
Oh hell, we don't like changing
that.
tires. We don't like changing anything, dude. Please don't break the car.
So I can see how this relationship is helpful. It does sound pretty fun, man. But it is honestly, like, when I see that trophy Jeep blasting some of those big berms with some whoops in it, that looks pretty sick, dude.
No, that truck's amazing. Like I said, how well he's got that thing working, and the thing is so much fun to ride in.
Are you stoked to ride in after he chopped the front end off of it and fixing it?
Oh,
I'm even more excited. We won't be hopefully shoveling anymore and eating dirt.
it's gonna get better. It literally should take it to a whole new level.
It's so cool to see, though, that you guys understand, just like we talked about before, you know what it feels like in the seat of your pants and what it's supposed to feel like to be a good vehicle. Like, that to me is one of the most, that's an accomplishment in itself, dude.
It's been 6 years of fine-tune. We don't ever go out with the same vehicle. We always go out with a little bit better setup.
Dude, it's wild.
Well, prior to, we always were just in the 4400 class. Within the last couple of years, Casey's wanted to push and step up, and we raced the Mint in the Class 1. We raced the King of Hammers in Class 1 and this last weekend as well. And it's different now, whereas before we used to chat and, we can have some fun and chit-chat in the car, and now it just seems like it's all business.
All right, so we got two.
Is too fast.
We got two questions. I'm going to ask them both. O-Ring asked if Casey has ever ran you over, and then also Alex Truch, I can't see what his name is here. He said he got the chance to ride with Casey at Daytona Bike Week in the passenger seat.
Oh, hell yeah.
What was that in?
My UTV or the Drift Jeep when we were doing that at the demos.
Oh, so he got to sit with you.
Yeah, we give opportunity to some fans.
Dude, that's wild, man. All right, so has Casey ever ran you over?
I haven't gotten ran over yet, but
I didn't actually run over Oren. All I did was his shoe got sucked off. I hit his shoe, not his foot. Made a big deal over that.
Oh, does Oren give you shit about that all the time?
Well, yeah, because it just happened to be where, like, Matt from Monster was up there filming, so, like, of course it got caught on camera.
That's awesome, dude. So, do you always watch your toes around this guy?
Watch everything. It was funny. Well, I thought I was coming on for the roast. I thought we were all going to
I told you, we got to be...
talk crap. And
I told him beforehand, I was like, dude, I thought you were putting us all together. I was like, dude, this thing was going to... Because, we are all friends, right? Oren and Sean and Aaron's been to Brazil, all the cars, so, like, we've had a lot of time together.
Oren just commented and he goes, dude, it counts. You ran me over. Oh, that's
I
funny.
think his
Yeah,
shin
and
flew
I,
off on that one.
So I was nervous. I was waiting
no,
for
that's
the
the
roast.
reason. That's the reason I wanted to put everybody in their little corner, man.
Smart,
Like
smart. It was good on my behalf. I literally texted him a couple days ago, going like, "Is this literally a freaking roast?" Because I'm like, dude, I don't even know who picked the crowd. But I'm like, it's all the worst guys.
Dude, it's your boy Kyle.
Oh,
Kyle
God.
was. I go, who could you suggest? And he just throws him out there. I'm like, perfect. Let's run with it. But no, I knew that if it got like if everybody got together on the Instagram, that I probably wouldn't talk. I could leave, and you guys could just have the show without me. So I was like, I better separate everybody.
We do have a great time. Everywhere we go, we have a good time.
Yeah, I said it was a stunt rider chick, and she got to meet everyone, and you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
were awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool, man. Dude, what an opportunity for her.
Yeah, we did. So for us, like, it's all about, anytime we can give somebody else an experience, like, that's one thing even Aaron's really good at. It's like, we'll literally take people out of the crowd, and I got some jumps. We'll give them, dude, I know how to, like, get
Yeah.
up on two wheels and show people that.
Fun stuff, yeah.
Yeah, dude, and that experience.
Well, dude, you did for me.
Yeah,
Like back in the day.
same,
I don't know if you
same.
heard at the beginning of the show, Aaron, but Casey's actually the dude that got me into off-road. He like let me take out his Pro Light at one time for about 5 minutes, and I was hooked ever since then. So give him the credit for getting me all all into this
Long
stuff.
time ago.
I'd say he kind of got me into the racing too. I was a stunt double way back. I got to drive his Pro Light at a Monster Jam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You had to stunt double it. How'd your back feel after that?
It was all right.
He did good, dude. He actually, the funny one, because he's listening right now, Oren. I had Oren drive one time, and he drove off the track and hit a tractor. I
No.
swear to God.
So it doesn't matter if you ran over his toe. He crashed your truck.
100%. I totally forgot about it. He literally drove into a tractor. The guy was like watching it. It was like 50 feet off the track. He just drove straight into it. Not even no mud, no nothing.
Oren, if you want to come back on, you're more than welcome to come back on and defend yourself.
No. But yeah, we did, all of us, like those experiences, like, and I forget about
Yeah.
those times. Like, we literally would go out and we'd put on a show, like an amazing race. Like, dude, we had some great drivers like Ryan Beat come out.
Yep.
And, like, all these guys come out and put on a great show. Like, just sharing that, the community with 50,000 people inside
Yeah.
of A&M Stadium.
That's exactly where I wanted to go with this conversation. Like, Aaron, so you got to spend a bunch of time with Casey. You guys have had tons of fun together, but do you have any memories of, like, what a fun place was that you guys have gone to because of an experience that you guys had?
Shit, man, everywhere. Like I said,
Wait,
being
hold
able
on.
to have the
O-Ring said the tractor was parked on course. This guy. Oh, man. All right, sorry, Aaron. So what was the experience?
You should have done the show around King of Hammers because all three of us were there with Casey in the Laser Nut compound and the stories.
That was wild, dude. Okay, well, now we have a bunch of Starlinks all set up, so let's plan on doing something like that. I think we could make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's it been like a really cool experience that maybe some of us don't know about that you guys have experienced together? I mean, maybe just, I don't know, even if it's not in the racetrack, it's seeing a site or something.
I got one. And you know who else it involves? Brett from Polaris.
Oh, really?
Dude, we got the opportunity. We've raced a lot, by the way. Aaron, but we got to go to Brazil. Actually, Sean was there as well. And Brett, we flew into Brazil, and before the rally started, we got I think it was 3 days in, I forget it was some beach city, but it was
Pipa.
It was one of the for me, like, obviously having Aaron there, and having Brett from Polaris there, and Kyle was there, and Sean, like, we got to go out and experience Brazil. We don't normally get to do this because there's so much, like, stuff going on before the
Don't have
rally.
enough time, yeah.
Yeah, we got like 2 days in Brazil. Dude, it was the most amazing food, the amazing scenery, everything about the event was like, I don't know if I could ever top the excitement level that we all had for just being in a foreign country and having fun.
Dude, and so honestly, that's one of the things that I was thinking about on Saturday. I told myself, I work so fucking much, just like all of us do. I go, if I can take 2 hours in some of those trips and just go experience something, I'm going to start doing that. Like, that's exactly what you guys got to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. How did you feel about going all through Brazil and stuff, Aaron? That sounds badass.
Brazil was insane. I'd
Show
go
me your
back in a
tattoo.
heartbeat.
Got a tattoo in Brazil?
Got a tattoo in Brazil. Yeah.
Dude, how is it?
And
Let's see if I can figure this out.
right there.
That's
Flip your phone a little bit. Other way. There you go. So that's a sunset shot that we were actually having some drinks by the water. That is actually a photo that he took of us having drinks on the water.
And took that same photo and went and got a tattoo of it?
In Pipa.
No
later
way.
that night.
Dude, that's
It was
epic.
sketchy.
That's so
No, it
cool,
was-
man. Did anybody else get a tattoo?
I don't know. No.
Dude, that's pretty cool, man. Holy smokes. That's that's dedication.
Oh, he's a dude. The experiences, man. He's got all these. Dude, that's his whole thing. I actually took. I got him a custom painted helmet for our last race, and I got all his. I got some of his important. I missed one, but I got some very important. I took some of his important tattoos to his family and had them all painted onto his helmet.
No way, really, dude. That's a badass friend right there,
It's dope. I was pretty excited about that one.
dude. We gotta see that. Hey, would you mind posting a picture on your social media of that helmet and maybe tagging all of us in it? Because I'd love to see that and show the audience. That's awesome.
It's dope.
Oh yeah, it's insane. One of the coolest helmets I have.
Do you still have it?
Oh, I just got it. It was for Vegas Reno.
Oh, okay.
I literally just did it.
So, okay, have you already posted a picture of it
Yeah,
then?
it's online. He'll tag you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, dude. Or send direct message to us, dude. That's so cool, man. All right, we got to start winding down the show here, Aaron. You got anything else you want to talk about, or maybe some of the next stuff that you have going on with Casey?
Trying to think of what is next.
Rubicon.
Trail Hero.
Trail,
Oh, Rubicon. Yeah.
Trail Hero.
Lots of events,
Good
huh?
stuff
It
coming
never
up.
ends.
Dude, that's so cool, man. Well, I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to come hang out, dude. Well, it was good talking with you, Aaron. I really appreciate everything that you're doing for us in the Dirt Life Show and obviously for Casey, man. It sounds like you have a good time doing it and work hard.
Yeah, Casey's a good dude. I always appreciate him dragging me on all these crazy adventures.
All right, and have a good night, guys. Okay, so that was the person who was in there. Dude, we really appreciate it, Aaron. You do have a good night, too, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you in a
Cool.
bit.
Thanks, guys. Later.
All right, so we're going to wind this thing down, man. I know you got to get home with your family and stuff like that. So the main thing that I wanted to get across today was to understand, like, the work ethic and stuff like that you have. It's really impressive because you're an energetic guy, but you also are able to, like I said, compartmentalize and focus on the things that you need to do. But one of the things that I appreciate the most about what you do in general is I knew you for a long time ago, and you started with just hard work.
Yeah.
You got opportunities because you brought those opportunities to yourself. You've grown into an entrepreneur. You've grown into a really good friend with all the people that you are surrounded by, and you really like to give back. There's a bunch of key components that drive the success that you currently have, and I think that you should look back on all this stuff and be really proud of yourself, man.
Oh, no, thank you. For me, I did, like I said, I'm still, we grind every day. For me, obviously, I really, truly, I'm passionate about what we do. That, like Aaron said, like, this is a passion deal. We absolutely love it. There's obviously other industries that you probably make way more money in, but for me, this is all I know. It's all I love, and, like, the community of people. As you can see, the friendships that I have, like.
And that's only 4 people, right?
Yeah, I know. Like, dude, like, if you met my entire team, you could really, like, it's a damn comedy show, and, like, but, dude, at the same time, we bust ass, right?
Yep.
We win races, we go and do everything we can and travel, but, like, dude, the people you put around you are so important, and that's something that I think my dad distilled into me, that you will never be successful by yourself. It is always going to take a group of people around you to make something happen.
Yeah, and I know we want to talk about racing and stuff tonight too, but I do want to give a shout out to your whole family, your dad, everybody that's been around you, and obviously your immediate family now with the kids and the wife and everything. It's really good to have those support mechanisms as well, and we talk a lot about it on the show, is that all of these people around us have good support mechanisms like that. So I'm glad that you have that as well, dude. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to wind this thing down here. We're going to do the rapid fire Q&A. We got a couple questions for you. Tacos or hot dogs?
Tacos.
Chicken or asada?
Asada.
You could also throw in like El Pastor or something there too.
I love El Pastor. We got a
Dude.
bomb Mexican restaurant down the street.
Yeah, you do. Oh, tacos, 2 portillos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude. Dunes or the river?
River.
Action shots or still shots?
Action shots.
3-wheeler or quad?
I'd probably quad right now. The new
Dude.
Polaris is sick.
That is a good one. But the 3-wheeler that we saw you on the 185 was pretty sick though too.
Been there.
Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Jalapeno poppers.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Favorite movie?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that's a good one. We were talking about that one this week. Yeah, dude, that's a good one. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Should I add TikTok in there?
I don't have TikTok.
I don't have one either. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Read the future.
Ooh, big future guy?
Yeah, big future guy.
Would you always be reading the future, or would you just kind of chime in every now and then and kind of look at it?
Probably just figure where things are at.
Yeah, that's cool. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Videos or photos?
Videos.
Oh, this one's a really deep one. Most memorable race?
Dakar.
Yeah, that's a pretty
It's
good
gonna
one,
be,
dude.
for me, I don't know if anything in life will ever match Dakar.
You know what's funny about that too is I'm sure you've heard this story a million times, but I had limited interest in Dakar, and then I start seeing it, and I see you go over there in 2019, and then I see you doing well in 2020, and I was fucking glued. I was like, dude, the dude that's getting me into off-road is about to bring this home to the United States. Like, there's no better feeling for me sitting here as a fan. Like, I was so pumped, man. So
I loved all the support, by the way. I've won the ball 1,003 different times, and
Right.
like the amount of people around the world that were watching us win Dakar was pretty amazing.
yeah, it's pretty wild, I guess,
it's
right?
pretty wild.
And did it do anything when you came back? Like, did you have people talking to you about
Oh,
it?
100%. It's till this day, there's still people that out of nowhere that only know me because I won Dakar.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
It's
I
the biggest
guess
thing.
it goes to show how small off-road is,
100%.
right? Let's see. Oh, what's your favorite snack in the car, in the trophy Jeep?
We're on the Uncrustables. That's what we do now.
Uncrustable,
Yeah.
big Uncrustable guy.
Yeah,
Supercross or motocross?
Supercross.
Dude, the motocross has been pretty sick,
It's
though.
pretty sick. I watch all of them, but
Who's your
neighbor-
guy?
Well, it depends. Right now, see, I got to go for Joe Shimoda right now in the lights because obviously Mitch Payne is my
Yep.
neighbor and he's kicking ass. But obviously it's pretty cool seeing Eli right now.
Dude, he's
Down Sexton blew it on Saturday.
dude, yeah.
Right, hopefully he can get those points back.
And the dude, I just keep noticing the speed that those guys are
Oh,
going
it's
is
gnarly.
freaking gnarly.
Yeah, it's gnarly. But the limelights of Supercross, come on, there's nothing like racing under lights.
Dude, you got that right. Oh, what other form of racing would you like to try? Well, like you don't do enough, I guess.
I mean, I would probably do. I'd love to do some like rally, like what Ken Block does, just
Right.
for the opportunity to try it.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, right? Speedboat or dragster?
Speedboat barely. I'm
Oh.
not a big fan of that speed thing, drag racing.
Yeah, that's
Oren
pretty.
has one of those boats. I think he said some earlier. They're super dangerous.
Dude, those things look like you'd fly out so
Yeah.
easy. All right, last question of the night, man. Chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Chips and guacamole all day long.
All day long. All right. Well, dude, I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out and obviously taking the time away from your family.
No
So
problem.
please
Sorry
thank
if I
them
hope,
too.
Hopefully it didn't take too long.
Dude, you did an awesome job, man. And it's always good to catch up with you. All right. So the outro. Actually, do you have anybody that you want to thank, or do you want?
No, dude, I want to thank everybody, man. I think if anybody out there wants to get into racing or has questions about racing, are the opportunities to learn more. Like, I'm an open book, especially younger people, man. The sport right now is hungry for a youth, and
Yeah.
I feel right now the next couple years, if you don't know it, I feel there's a huge opportunity for the younger demographic to start getting into off-road racing, and I think it's just going to take the right opportunities to align to make a superstar. I think the next superstar right now is literally 10 to 14 years old.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Yeah, I think there's a big thing coming with the UTVs.
Yeah, and I do agree with that wholeheartedly. And the good part about it is that they're going to have a support mechanism because of all the people like you out there willing to help out. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, Casey. We really appreciate it. You can always visit the sponsor deals page on thedirtlifeshow.com. Go over there, click on all of it. You can save some money with all of our sponsors. So thank you very much to all the guys at KMC Wheels. We share a mutual sponsor with Casey. Thank you very much to all the guys over at Maxxis. Thanks to the guys at Motul, Shock Therapy, JL Audio, Evolution Power Sports, Laundry Racing Products, Vision Canopy, and Cryo Heat. We will see you guys next week. We're going to be with one of Casey's sponsors, Maglock and Fluid Logic. So
right on.
it'll be cool to hang out with those guys. And then we will see you guys at the Outlaw Series West. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.